Welcome to Fitzdog Radio. If you're watching on Zoom, I'm sitting here in my golf shirt, my golf hat. Yeah, I say golf. Back in the game with Dennis Gubbins. A lot of people know that Dennis is a good buddy of mine who I play golf with, but his temper had gotten out of control. And I announced that I would no longer be playing with him on the podcast. But it was just for a break. I took a little break, and now I'm back. And you know, he was fine, and I missed him. He's put some weight on, so there was some talk about his belly. You know, he was talking about his belly, and you know, about these sores. He has these sores. Anyway, let's not start off talking about Mike Gubbins. Welcome. My guest is Annie Lederman today, not Lederman. Everybody says her name wrong. It's Lederman. We had a long 2-hour chat just yesterday. We had a lovely time, and then I did a show with her last night at the Comedy Store. The comedy clubs are back, people. Get on out. It'll be another week before LA is at full capacity, but right now it is like 80% capacity in the clubs, and people are packing it in. Great comics are showing up every night. I mean, the lineups at the store have been crazy. It's like Nealon, followed by Sebastian, followed by Eliza, followed by Spade, and then Nealon, and then just so many good comics. Marin was there last night, and so it's been fun to be back, hanging out till late, hanging out in the parking lot until late at night, shooting the shit again, gossiping, busting balls, being fucking comedians again. It feels good. I miss my wife, but hey, we had a year together, so there you go. I had a buddy in town. My friend Pete, who I love, was like my best friend growing up. He came and stayed with me. I talked about it in my conversation with Andy, but the point being, we spent a lot of time in Venice, running around Venice. He hadn't been here in many years, and so we played some golf, we played some paddle tennis at the beach, took him to the skateboard park so he could videotape some shit. He's a videographer. Walked through the canals. We got some street meat, the Mexican street meat, which he enjoyed quite a bit. Drank tequila with the family. What else did we do? We did evening yoga on Tuesday on the beach. It was great. And you know, if you people that want to post videos of Venice Beach and all the homeless tents, good, post it. Don't come here. We don't fucking need you. Venice is the most magical place in the country. And yeah, there's some homeless people. Deal with it. What about all you Christians out there? What would Jesus do? Wouldn't Jesus get on his knees and wash the feet of these homeless people? Wasn't that kind of in the Bible a few dozen times? And it doesn't overwhelm the vibe of the city unless that's all you can see. If you're looking for it, yeah, it's there. But you know what? There's mentally ill people. There's people that are having a hard time, and you try to help them out. You volunteer in a soup kitchen. You donate to a charity. And you hope that you don't dehumanize them to the point where you don't fucking come here. Jesus. Don't come here. I don't care. Go to Duluth, Iowa. Or is that Minnesota? Who cares? Go there. Don't come here. It's crowded enough as it is. Walking around the city, everyone's saying hi to me. I got friends I haven't seen in years I'm bumping into. I had a great week. You ever have a vacation where you live? That's what it was. I was doing all the shit that I forget I love doing in Venice, but I had a house guest, so we were enjoying it. And yeah, that's it. All right. Speaking of good times, great times, really, the best of times, let's talk about your erection. That's right, people. It's Fitzdog Radio, and we're here to make you laugh. We're here to make you cry, think, and get hard. That's why sometimes you can't. Sometimes you have a hard time getting hard. And that's why we got GetRoman.com/Fitzdog and find out how you can... Look, we all get anxiety. People get overworked. Maybe you're just not feeling it the way you used. You spend all this energy trying to make money, and you make yourself crazy. And then you can't do the one thing that you really enjoy. So with Roman, there's a free online evaluation and ongoing care for ED. No office visits. Just sit in a bed. Sit in the very bed you need to work better in, and do a little online visit with a professional, with a U.S. licensed healthcare professional who will work with you to find the best treatment plan. If medication is appropriate, it ships to you free with 2-day shipping. It's simple. It's private. You'll love it. Getting started, just go to getroman.com/Fitzdog, complete the online visit. And again, don't leave your house. Let the healthcare professionals take care of it. Go to getroman.com/Fitzdog. You'll get $15 off your first month. It's time to take care of your ED. And remember, get started today and you'll save $15 on your first order of ED treatment. Getroman.com/Fitzdog. Okay. Hope I did that right. It's very difficult sometimes to do these reads without you want to say everything they want you to say and not too much. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to get flagged. Let's do a couple quick. Now I'm going to keep this short because we did such a long interview. Some nicknames. Melissa Riccato said, I'm 53, met my then and still best friend in 8th grade. How many people can say that? We went to the same all-girls Catholic high school. My nickname is Mo. Hers is Lore, short for Lori. Our Catholic school uniforms consisted of the usual plaid skirt and white blouse. Yep, remember it well from when I was in high school. Which our initials were to be monogrammed on the collar. Before the first day of freshman year, Lori and I had our collars monogrammed MDH for Mo DeHo and LDH for Lord DeHo, Lord DeHore, respectively. We kept this up all 4 years, falling under the radar of our busy moms and the nuns. I still have one of my blouses, and a few years ago told my mom the story, who just said, of course you did. Of course you did, you little whore. Yeah, that's a good one. I remember those. I used to ride on a bus in high school. I went to a private high school, and I used to get a ride to school in the, the town bus. Would take all the kids to the Catholic schools and the private schools. And it was just me on a long yellow bus filled with Catholic schoolgirls. And and I've talked about this on the show, but those uniforms, I don't know if it was the music videos that made them sexy or they were sexy so they made music videos around them. But for God's sake, stop. If you want to keep your little daughter safe, Catholic parents, get them out of those fucking uniforms. Give them some sweatpants. Let them dress and put them in burqas like good religious parents. Because those uniforms are working against you. This one comes from Adam. My parents called me Toad. It came from a hat that I loved when I was just a little guy that had toads all over it. My dad would wake me up for school when I was young, and embarrassingly, sometimes in high school, by turning on my light and yelling, Toadius amphibious frogus the mostest. It's time to wake up. Well, Adam, you should have videotaped that, and you should have shown it to some of his friends at work, because he should be the one embarrassed, not you. He was trying to have some fun, but it was making you uncomfortable, and you should have outed him for being a lame dad. Speaking of lame dads, my daughter's prom is this weekend, and she's going to have a little party, after prom party, at our house. So I will let you guys know how that goes. I don't know how do I kick out high school guys? These are seniors in high school. What if they get rowdy and I have to approach a 6'4" football player and tell him to get out of my house? Can I do it? I don't know. Without weapons? All I can tell you is next week's show is going to have some good stories from whatever the hell happens at prom night, because I'm taping this before prom night happens. Okay. Anyway, let's get to it. My guest, who is lovely and talented and funny, and you're gonna hear big things from this woman. I guarantee it. She wrote and produced on Showtime's Who Is America. She was on This Is Not Happening, Ari Shaffir's show. She was on Girl Code, At Midnight, Chelsea Lately, Comedy Knockout, Adam Devine's House Party, true TV shows like Those Who Can and Adam Ruins Everything. She was on a show on E! Called We Have Issues, and she also wrote for Impractical Jokers. She's got a podcast, Meanspiration, which has been on hiatus, but is coming back. So check her out and go to her website, Annie Lederman, LEDERMAN.com. Okay, here's my talk with her. Enjoy. We're back. We're back in Fitzdog Studios.
It's my first time here, but you're back.
What do you think?
It's humble. It's understated. It's gigantic. I mean, do people know what it looks like? It's so big.
Well, what I have is, it's the green room takes up a lot of the space because of the pool table.
Uh-huh.
But no, it is funny. You go to other people's places and they don't understand what it's like to really have this kind of space.
Yeah, I mean, Rogan's, I used to think his studio was big, but his actually is pretty small.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is, wow.
And, in the ceilings, we got the new, this new type of asbestos tiles.
Oh, I love those ones, yeah.
Yeah.
No, and I like how close your Emmys are from piercing that. If it pierces the ceiling, the asbestos comes out.
There is an office on this block that they have been removing asbestos from for the last year, and they can't seem to get the levels right because they've been in there and it's sealed off, and they have some kind of a air purifier running around the clock.
Does asbestos give you cancer? What does it give you?
Oh, yeah.
It gives you cancer.
Lung cancer.
Ooh,
yeah.
The best kind.
Yeah. And when I was in, I want to say like 7th grade, I was on the wrestling team. And, the mat, you unroll that like rubber mat and then it kind of like pops up on the corners. So we had these big bags of powder that we used in 1980 to hold the corners down. And I remember they were asbestos. They were bags of asbestos.
Bags of it.
And we used to inhale it. And me and my friend were out for like a month with some kind of chest infection.
Well, it's easier for the other team to wrestle you, I guess, if you're passed out from asbestos poisoning.
Yes, we give them that advantage. And we all smoked in 8th grade as well, so that didn't...
Oh, you were a cool kid too? Me too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
You were like a...
Bad kid.
Bad kid.
It was fun.
It was fun. My kids are pretty wild. I'm glad that they turned out that way.
Yeah, because you want to grow into being good. You don't want to like lose your fun years. Like, what if you're the fuck up later in life? That's like not...
Right.
Then you're just homeless.
Or you just don't know how to regulate. Like, now I can regulate. I smoke a little pot. I haven't had a drink in fucking 30 years.
Yeah.
You don't drink, right?
Mm-hmm. I quit drinking when I was 25, so it's been 12 years.
Okay. But didn't you weren't you a drunk as a 14-year-old?
Yeah, I was like a young drunk, yeah.
Yeah.
I was one of the bait, they call us.
What does bait mean?
Just bait for the predators. It's like,
because you were
oh my God, she's young
girl.
and drunk?
Yeah. Right.
And I dress kind of like a baby slut,
Yeah.
Which I still do. I like when people see me for them to be like, was she molested?
Oh, you mean based on your outfits today?
Yeah, like, ooh, a little touch of touched.
Yeah, a little mascara on the eyes.
Yeah, a little mascara, torn clothes.
Right.
I'm wearing all other people's merch. I'm wearing a Brian Holtzman shirt and Whitney Cummings pants.
Are they her branded pants?
Yeah.
She sells...
Bop, bop, bop pants.
What does that mean?
That's like in the beginning of her podcast, she just goes, bop, bop, bop.
Uh-huh.
My boyfriend does her, the clips for her. So the fact that that's not like in your brain all the time is so shocking because I hear Whitney's voice all day.
Yeah.
All day long.
Well, you guys do videos together, right?
I see her all the time. That's so funny. That's what we've all come to.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're friends. She would probably call it doing videos.
But wasn't there like a regular thing, like three or four of you guys that regularly did videos together? Who was it?
It was me, Little Esther, Olivia Munn, Kesha was in them for a little bit.
Really? Wow.
Amanda Cierney. Who am I forgetting? Benton.
And you guys just do silly shit. You dance
Miranda
around
Cosgrove.
or whatever.
Whitney will just be like, come over, we're having a influencer party. And I'm like, you just say it out loud? She doesn't even mask it like a true friendship. But no, I love Whitney though.
Whitney's hard not to love.
I can't get enough. People that haven't met her, it's like once you meet her, you'll get it.
I didn't know her for a long time, and I just always saw her. Like, we'd breeze past each other at comedy clubs, and then, you do a podcast with somebody and you get to know them a lot better.
Yeah.
And then we did, I was writing on Crashing, and she did an episode, so we spent like 2 or 3 days nonstop together, and I was like, yeah, I get it. I get why people like her.
Yeah. No, for real. You're like,
she's damaged, which is the best part. Like when you first meet her, you're like, oh, here's this chick. She's pretty. She's funny.
She went to
smart.
an Ivy League school.
Went to an Ivy League school, and you kind of like whatever. And then you meet her, and you realize, oh no, she's a broken toy too.
Yeah. No, she is, and she like her brokenness works out in her like workaholicism.
Yes.
So she's just constantly making shit. Like everything she does is like also work.
Yeah.
It's very impressive.
Right.
But everyone's always like giving me shit for talking about her. But I'm like, meet her and I dare you not to talk about her.
Yeah.
Hang out with her once. I dare you to ever spend a day not talking about her.
Soon you'll be wearing her pants.
You too will wear her pants. Well, I just honestly gained weight and I refuse to buy new clothes.
Oh, really? So you're wearing elastic
fuck that.
waistbands? Oh, you got your phone on? All right.
I only turn my phone off for people I respect.
Your phone is attached to your purse?
Yeah, I have to do that. I have attention deficit disorder. Why would it still be?
I have ADD also. This is going to be a great podcast.
I know. I already feel so ADD.
A lot of half-finished thoughts.
I will bring them back, though. I usually can remember them at the end.
Yeah.
Like right when people are like, and tour dates. I'm like, wait. I remember.
Yeah.
And then he popped out of the closet.
Wait, so are you going to write down the childhood shit? Like the predator bait stuff?
Make a book?
Yeah.
I am going to make a book. Yeah, I'm going to write a book.
You should make a book.
I'm going to write a book. They didn't teach me to read, so I'm going to have to learn. I was thinking of naming it, This is the Only Book I've Ever Read.
Oh, you don't read?
Reading's a challenge.
Do you have dyslexia?
Maybe. I'm diagnosed. It's definitely hard. I used to have a tracking problem. They took me. It's so hard. Wait, is this one daughter, these pictures?
Yeah, that's her starting from kinder. You can't see on the left, but kindergarten,
cute.
it's the class picture every year.
I was like, you have a lot of daughters.
And then, you can't see my sons because I took them down because my wife wanted them. But she is ready for this. She's graduating. Her prom is on Saturday.
Oh, my God.
And then she's graduating on high school on Tuesday.
Oh, wow. And your son just graduated, I remember.
He graduated 2 years ago, yeah.
I remember creeping on those pics.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. You thought he was hot.
It's so fun to tell people that but now in this climate, you got to make sure they really know you're kidding.
No, I'm into my son being called hot because I was not that kid. He's like, not everything, but most things I was not. He is a star athlete. He's just like easygoing and all the shit that I wish I'd been. Super popular without trying.
Yeah.
He's like the guy.
Yeah.
He's the kid.
When he wrestled, there was no asbestos there. It was like incredible.
Yeah, when I wrestled, they called it date rape. So, so what's the first chapter of your book if you write it?
First chapter of my book. I mean, I don't know. Do you think I should go like a child? Maybe it would be my birth.
No. I think in a book you want to grab something out of the gate.
That's what they called my birth, grabbing something out of the gate. That's exactly. I came out my mom's asshole. It's a long story. We're twins. We came out the same time, different holes. I got the ass.
And you're only into anal now.
Listen, I don't even have one of the other holes.
Yeah. What are you looking for? There's nothing down there.
It's so funny that a mother would be probably jealous of her daughter if she had everything that she didn't have. But a father's like, go get that puss I never got.
Yeah. It is really weird because, like, I don't get into that part, like, about girls. I kind of leave them alone on that because I'm almost afraid to go down that path of, like, you got any pictures of her? So he does his own thing with girls, but I do more like the sports thing. Like, we played tennis, paddle tennis this morning down at the beach.
What's the difference between paddle tennis and regular tennis?
Paddle's like probably about half the size, the court.
Okay.
And you play with a wooden paddle.
Okay.
And then you take everybody has hypodermic needles in their bags, and you pop pop a new tennis ball so it's dead. And then you play with that, so it's a much faster game.
Everyone has needles?
Yeah, so you can pop your brand new tennis ball.
Everyone down there also has needles without tennis balls as well.
Yeah.
Wow, so that's another reason why needles would be on the ground?
Yes.
I can't tell if this is real.
No, I swear to God. You take a hypodermic needle because it's got the tube in it, and it allows the air to come out of the ball without having to tear the ball.
How do you feel about these homeless people? Unhoused people.
I love them. I mean, look, Venice Beach. I love these people that move to Venice Beach and then all they do is complain about the homeless. It's like, did you do a fucking lap before you came here? Because this is like, it's been a bohemian city since its inception in the fucking 1800s. This was always a place where people kind of collected, where Jim Morrison lived. And, you know, it's like, if you don't like it, move to fucking Santa Monica.
I feel like there's not one comic that could have made me laugh harder than this homeless person made me laugh the other day.
Oh, really?
I was eating at a restaurant in Santa Monica. Yeah, moved to Santa Monica. Good luck.
Yeah.
Eating at this restaurant in Santa Monica, sitting outside, this big, big homeless man, okay? And he was black. It doesn't matter, but it kind of does for the end of the story a little bit. You'll see. So he comes up, he starts going, you stupid ass bitch, but not to me, to some other guy. And it was another black guy, and the black guy was like eating his food, and I think he tried to look up and like give him like his heart. You know, like, I understand you, homeless man, I'm here for you. And he makes eye contact, but it was a big mistake, and the guy is just staying in his face for a really long time. So then he finally like pays and leaves, and the guy starts coming over to us. He goes to a couple other tables, and he's just cursing. He's being great. He's just being so funny. He's got Crocs. He's got just, you know, like the cankles just billowing out over the Crocs.
Dry skin,
just like been on the street, but
the random cuts.
But a heart of gold. So he's going up to stupid ass bitch to every table. Then he stops while all of us are looking, and I look away. I'm like laughing with these guys at another table, and they're like, "Oh my God, look!" And I turn around. He's pulled his pants down.
No, he hasn't.
Yes, he has. He's pulled his pants down, has bent over, and opens his asshole that I was going to say was incredibly clean. It was like shockingly very clean.
Wow.
And if he was white, maybe it wouldn't have looked as clean, but it did look very clean. It was like amazing. It was the funniest thing. We were all laughing. Like the staff kept apologizing, and all of us were like, no, this was very funny.
Wow.
There were no kids or anything. There was no one to like really.
Yeah.
Everyone's seen an asshole that was sitting there.
Is like a little oyster. You know, he just opened it up and he went, wow, look at that.
And he knew what he was fucking doing. Wow. He really was entertaining us. It really was a good time. Yeah,
that's the thing about outdoor cafes in places like Venice. And like I talk to people that live in New York City. And they're like, if you're going to eat outside, be prepared to look at somebody's asshole. It happens.
And look, I'm interested in people's assholes. Like I would rather see that type of asshole than like watch porn, I guess. I think it's more like a shocking asshole is more what I'm interested in.
Yeah, an asshole, like a free range asshole.
Just a asshole just popped up out of nowhere.
Yeah, right.
If you're looking at porn, you're like, no, you're going to see an asshole.
Did he then ask for a donation after showing his asshole?
No, honestly, I was thinking that would be fun to just go up and throw some coins in the slot. Roll up 100. Be like, you really entertained me today. I'm going to give you spot money, all right? I'm going to give you main room money. Have you been performing? Oh, yeah, you brought me up there the other night.
Yeah.
Sorry, I grabbed the mic from you.
Well, you grabbed it because you had an issue you needed to deal with, which was
and I'm over it now.
We did this roast, or I did this roast.
Yeah.
You didn't do the roast.
No, I didn't do the roast.
Your name came up.
I was called a cunt several times in it by someone who wasn't saying it friendly.
Yeah, Mike Binder, who produced the
Comedy Store
documentary for Showtime. Who I see him around on the West Side. You know, when on walks. Mm-hmm. I walk through Brentwood sometimes with another guy, and
holding hands.
I almost feel like we've done it so many times. If he were to hold my hand, I wouldn't fight it.
You would fall in. Your hands would just fall into each other.
Not interlocking, but like a handshake, hand holding session.
It'd be like, sup? Yeah.
Yeah, we'd probably start out with just a dap.
Yeah.
And then we'd probably not gay, but just
no, a friendly blowjob at the end. It's no big deal.
Yeah, no eye contact on that blowjob.
Who's the guy you go walking with? Is it someone
Judd Apatow. You know Judd Apatow.
Who? No, I'm just kidding.
We walk from by his house to the beach and back. It's like
if I saw you guys holding, really?
It's like 2.5 hours.
Wow.
And we do it like once a week for the whole pandemic.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you get ideas out, or you just chatting, talking shit?
Yeah, we get ideas out.
Great.
Sure. Mostly
get some more fucking Emmys.
Mostly just talk shit.
Guys, there's 3 Emmys I'm looking at.
My mom has the 4th.
I was gonna say I know there's another one.
Yeah.
Now I hear someone made fun of you on the roast saying that how do you support your children? And you said I have 4 Emmys. Oh, I wish I'd been there.
Yeah, it was this guy. What's his name? He's that comedian who
was it Benji?
Yeah, Benji. Yeah. Alaflo, is that how you say it?
Aflalo, I think.
Aflalo. Mm-hmm. And so I don't know Benji, you know.
He obviously doesn't know you either.
He doesn't know me, and he goes up and he said something. And that was his crack. He's like, this guy, I worked with him once on a writing job 5 years ago. I don't know how he like pays the rent. And I was like, motherfucker, let's see your tax return. Then I find out later that he comes from a really rich family, and that he's kind of a trust fund kid.
Yeah, he's very rich.
Like he drives a Porsche, but he writes on one show a year.
He drove a Prius last time I knew, but maybe he got a nice car. Maybe he leveled up.
I like him. He had nothing. Nobody has anything on me because I'm not really that big of a personality. I'm just a guy I'm just a journeyman. I show up and I do my jokes and I leave. I got a family. I haven't fucked hookers. I'm not a drunk. It's very hard to roast me.
There's time still.
Yeah, why don't you roast me? What would you say if you were roasting me?
Like you freckly ass piece of shit.
Mm-hmm.
You're like Bill Blur.
Bill Blur, that's good. I like that.
Bill Slur, I've heard you on stage. A lot of racy things come out of his mouth.
Yeah.
I'm seeing where the grapefruits are, right in the middle of your chest.
Yeah. You saying I have saggy tits?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're a little saggy, little belly.
Yeah, there's a lot probably about like why God would take the hair off the top of your head and put it all over the rest of your body. Just visual ones.
Yeah. Yeah. But I'm almost like I won't be Me Too'd because I'm not big enough. It'd be like Me Who.
Yeah.
And I'm tough to roast. Which is, I think, a sign of failure as an entertainer. You should be easy to roast.
Well,
you should be definable.
Are from Boston, correct?
Well, I started in Boston because I went to school there.
So you could just be easily called racist for fun.
Yeah.
There's things they could just put on you.
Sure.
But they've got nothing real. Your wife's hot. Your kids are hot. What are they going to do? What are they going to do to you?
Documentaries are really tricky because, like, I know people that have been interviewed for documentaries and then they end up using like a 5-second clip, but they spent like 4 days with the person. Totally. So you have no guarantee of how it's going to be edited together because a lot of times people shoot documentaries, like you said, for 3 years.
Right.
And ultimately, you know, if it's a 90-minute documentary, now you got 3 years worth of footage to put in. A lot of people are going to get cut out. So I've heard many complaints over the years of people that feel like they wasted their time being filmed or should have been paid, or like I had a friend, Tom O'Neill, you know, I got him on Rogan. He did a book called Chaos about the Manson murders.
Oh, cool.
So he was approached by, I won't say who, but like the most famous documentary filmmaker in the country.
Yeah.
And he had a deal at the time with Netflix to do like a 6-part docuseries on something. So he wanted to do My Friends. And then my friend was like, all right, but I kind of want to know what your angle is on the book, because my friend wrote the book for 20 years.
Wow.
20 years. This is his life work.
Yeah.
And so he didn't want this because he started getting the feeling
Did he name it Sharon Tate's Baby Would Have Been This Old?
Sharon Tate's Baby would be copy editing this book for me right now. And so he didn't want the angle to be, here's a crazy writer who couldn't finish a book, but he was starting to get the sense that was what it was about. And there was a lot of money on the table and it would have helped sell the book. But ultimately, my friend said, Fuck it.
Right.
I'm not doing it. I got to protect this. And he made the right decision. And then I got him on Rogan. Mm-hmm. The book had already done well.
Right.
For a year. I mean, it was a big release and it did well. And then he went on Rogan and then it went on the top of the New York Times bestseller list.
Amazing.
And then Rogan brings it up.
Yeah.
And he loved it. So he brings it up all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. But I feel like that, you know, when you do a documentary, you're they can just do whatever. But I loved what he did. I thought it was so good. I was so bummed
I didn't see
out.
it. I don't have Showtime. I don't. I had Showtime and I watched Billions until my testosterone level was going through the roof. And then I was like, all right, I'll watch some Homeland. And then I felt my hatred for Muslims was through the roof. And then I think that was the only thing I really wanted to watch on Showtime.
I watched, you're like, why would I want to watch the documentary about the place I'm at every day?
Also, there was the show, something up here about
I'm Dying Up
Here about the store. I never saw that.
No, I don't watch. If my friends are in something, I'm not watching it. I have no interest in watching my friends act. It's like a nightmare.
Although Santino was in it, and I heard he was very good.
I'm so happy for him. I'll never know if he's a good actor or not.
What
it's
about
too much
Dave?
Pressure.
You haven't seen Dave?
Oh, I actually have seen Dave.
He's really good in Dave.
I know, but here's the thing. I have to like kind of shut off when I see my friends acting because it's just too much pressure. I've been trying to work on a bit about it where it's like when you like if they're a bad actor, then I am forced into being a good actor to like tell them. It's like
I think I've heard you do that.
Yeah, it's just like because it really is just too much pressure. I'm
right.
Because I just want to tell the truth. Like this isn't for you.
Yeah.
Move on. Maybe just stick to the stage.
Yeah, you're a good person and
you're a great friend. But also it's like I'm not going to believe you're a good actor. Like I can't tell if you're a good actor because I know like if I'm watching Santino, I'm going to be like it's Santino.
Right.
Like I don't buy this shit. I guess I could imagine him being friends with a white rapper. That's actually the most believable Santino.
Does he have black friends?
I mean, his accent would kind of let you think sometimes, but
yeah,
I don't know. I'm sure he is. No, you know what? Once I met a guy on a plane who was Usher's producer or something, and he was like, "Oh, you're a comedian? Do you know Andrew Santino?"
Nice.
So then I asked, and then Andrew was like, "Yeah, I'm boys with Usher," and I was like, "Nobody said that, but okay." So I guess he's friends with Usher. I think that's.
Do you have black friends?
I have some black friends. Yeah.
Close or just like check the box? I have black friends.
I just like hang out with them enough to see what they're wearing.
Yeah.
And then I kind of get a gist and then
get a lot of Instagram photos.
Yeah, you hang out like once a month and you know, I go, "Oh, those are the cool shoes." Okay.
Yeah. Can I download your playlist?
Yeah, let me know what you're listening to. It's so funny. I worked on this show called Sugar and Toys. And there were like, I was one of 3 white writers. And every time I'd walk in, Blaine Capatch was working on there. So white. You know him, right?
Yeah. The whitest guy in the world.
I came in once and he was like, "So what Tribe Called Quest album is it?" And I was like crying, laughing. I was like, first of all, I was the late one. So there you go. Breaking down stereotypes.
Oh, it was a black show?
Yeah. Well, it's Sugar and Toys. So it was by these guys. They're a duo. One's black and one's white. Carl Jones and Brian Ash is white.
Oh,
and they've done like
Carl.
Black Dynamite and everything.
Yeah,
like that.
Carl's a friend of mine. I wrote on a show with him. He's the fucking greatest guy.
He's the best. He's so cool.
Yeah, he's so mellow.
He's really good. He will throw some selfies up on Instagram. He doesn't care. Whatever he wants.
Yeah. We wrote on this show for Jamie Foxx on Fox and with a guy named Afion Crockett, who was guy does impressions of rappers.
Okay.
He's a stand-up comic and real super talented guy.
Yeah. What a name. I would hate to be a host on that show.
Afion Crockett.
Oh God, I would fuck that up so bad.
Yeah. Well, the show was called In the Flow, which was the worst fucking name. It sounds like someone's having a period. Yeah.
Do you remember when we did Chelsea? This was years and years ago. We're on the panel and you were trying to make a joke about no strings attached. It was like a period tampon joke. You're like, "I like my relationships, no strings attached, no period," or something like that. It's so funny. So stupid.
The shit we used to say on Chelsea lately.
I mean, really, we probably could all be canceled by just the like one-liners.
I used the N-word on it once.
Oh my God. Was Lonnie there?
It was to Lonnie because there was
Were you trying to make her come?
There was a town called N-word Valley that exists.
Where? In the
I
United
can't
States?
remember where. I'm gonna Google it right now, even though I don't want my browser.
We
to
know
have
that the
word in
browser
it.
just brought it up.
Yeah, and then she said, and I know her really well. I'm not even gonna say what I said because I would be canceled for it. And she laughed and she goes, "Only you, Greg. Only you could fucking say that." Oh, here it is. Butterfield Valley. The original name of Butterfield Valley, found on the first topographic map of the region, was N-word Valley. They say full N-word. It's let me see where it is. Anderson, Washington. Now called Butterfield Valley. Isn't that fucking crazy?
That is crazy. And have they renamed it? You'd think they'd tear that statue down.
Now it's called Butterfield Valley. Much nicer. Now I'm going to start calling black people Butterfields.
I know, but isn't Butterfield's like a syrup too?
Oh, like Mrs. Butterfield. That's right.
Like rude.
Mrs. Butterfield, was she the knockoff of Aunt Jemima?
Was she white?
Mrs. Butterfield?
Was she the white Aunt Jemima?
Maybe.
I miss Aunt Jemima on my
what do they call her now?
No, it's still Aunt Jemima. She's just not on it. It's like sad.
They took her off the bottle?
She's off the bottle.
So basically they took a job away from an African American.
Yeah, I'm going to just let you know this before you get accused. There's an SNL sketch that's that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't want you getting any ideas. We know your South Park debacle, but I miss her. Like I really, like as a kid, my dad was very into syrup. He was a syrup guy. He was always chugging it when I would come downstairs in the morning. That was like, I thought that's how you drank syrup.
Did he seriously?
Yes, he would just chug it. My dad had a lot of heart issues.
Wow.
He's doing good now. But yeah, he really was just such a little pig and he would just chug it. He would hold the handle. He would just hold it up. And I just always thought that was a normal thing until I was older. But it was always,
Was he an alcoholic?
Mm-mm.
Because alcoholics sometimes need that much sugar.
That sugar, yeah. No, he just was like a little fat kid. Like he got all of his pleasure out of treats when he was little.
Really?
He loved sweets, so he just lived that through. And now he'll go. He's actually been good since COVID because he was so scared to go out, so they never went out and they got the food delivered. But he would go to Giant or to whatever grocery store. And he would buy like his impulse buy, his jelly beans, his cupcakes or whatever. And on the drive home, he would shove some in his mouth and then he would throw the rest out the window in the same spot. He called it the exit of shame. There's just this pile of litter just from my dad of like gummy bears and jelly beans. He'd always take me on a tour. He'd go, "Oh, look."
The exit of shame?
So funny.
Where do they live?
In the suburbs of Philadelphia.
Which suburb? Or you don't want to say?
They live in Wynmore.
No. Bryn Mawr?
No, Wynmore.
Oh.
Wynmore.
Wynmore, because isn't Bryn Mawr?
Bryn Mawr is like nice.
It's nice, yeah. Right?
Wynmore is like not bad, but we grew up in Winco and then they just moved like 10 minutes away. And then my older brother and his family just moved to New Jersey. And then my other brother's in Boston with his daughters. Is
he the only one with kids?
No, so my older brother has 2 sons and my twin brother has 2 daughters. So I will have a halvesy.
Right.
I'll have a hermaphie.
Wouldn't that be cool? Have a hermaphrodite? You'd have a fucking scholarship lined up
from
4th grade on.
I would be bringing my kid out naked on stage.
Yep.
Like, check it out. Born trans. My kid is genuinely going to pick their gender. Look at this.
Yeah.
No choice. They have to pick one.
Right. Did you ever read a book called, you don't read, sorry.
Well, how long ago was it?
While ago. 15 years ago? 20 years ago?
Definitely didn't read then.
A book called Middlesex. It's about a hermaphrodite.
Is that about a hermaphrodite? I thought Middlesex was I remember and it was a picture of 2 shoes. 2 little shoes touching.
Yeah.
Black and white picture. I remember the cover. Wasn't it the cover?
Well, that's a very LA conversation when you bring up, have you read a book? And somebody goes, were there 2 shoes on the cover?
I'm a visual learner. I turn every book into a picture book. I just look at the front and the back and then I'm done. My mom, I was remembering my mom I would like crawl into bed and she would be reading like some book and she would always tell me this story from beginning to end. So I never really felt the need to learn.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she would just tell me the story.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah. And then now my boyfriend is I call him a spoiler. He'll just tell me the end of every fucking movie. I'm like, Why would I want to know the end already?
Oh, no. That would be a huge problem for me.
Well, he did this to me about this movie where the end of the movie was like, and then the guy realizes who he's fucking is his daughter. I'm like, yes, I want to see that movie.
Yeah.
But now it's completely ruined.
Right.
And he was like, no, because you wouldn't have wanted to see it until I told you that ending. I'm like, but what if you just told me it had a really good ending?
Yeah.
And it's been, it was his birthday, so I pretended like I wasn't upset. But he ruined a piece of my life I'll never get back.
How does a relationship get going during the pandemic? You guys met during COVID?
We started dating right before, and he's 11 years younger than me, and I was never gonna seriously date him.
Oh, he's a child.
He's a baby. He's 27. He just turned 27.
Nice.
I mean, I am kidding about your son. I feel like now it seems like I'm not kidding. But yeah, I know. It's pretty cool.
So did you feel like you started dating somebody, pandemic hits, and then it's almost like up in Maine. When you live in Maine and winter hits, you fucking love the one you're with.
Yes.
You grab whoever's close and you keep them for 5 months.
Yeah, body heat. I was very much going to just get rid of this kid. I mean, I said it to, I was like, look, you got to go. I went on the road with Louie, and I don't know why I pointed at you because you guys are friends.
Just texted me earlier today.
I think I met you when Louie was in town. I think the first time I met you was when Louie was in town. Years ago.
We were
we'd already done
backstage
Chelsea.
at the Comedy Store, and I knew you not well at all. I'd met you a few times, and then Louie came in, and he saw you, and he started saying, "You're so funny." He's like, "You're really great." And
I know. I was like, "Tweet it, Louie. Tweet it."
Yeah.
tweet.
No, I remember. He was singing your praises.
Well, I was opening for him, which was fun. He didn't try anything. A little rude, but you get a little insulted when you hear these rumors.
Well,
no, he's a good boy. I honestly do feel very much very safe with Louie on the road.
Yeah.
Very, very, very much.
Right.
But went on the road with him, and my boyfriend, we had just been seeing each other for a couple weeks or whatever, and he goes, "Can I just stay?" Because he worked, his house was far away from work. I go, "Okay." I come back, and I remember thinking I wonder if he's gonna bring a girl back, but it was way worse. He brought his PlayStation over. I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" He just moved in, he just had his things there.
Really?
Yeah. And I was like, this isn't going to happen. He's like, you don't want someone to support you and help you get your, because I was like, I'm busy, I'm doing shit.
Yeah.
And he's like, I could just help you with it. And I was like, I don't want that. You're so annoying.
Yeah.
And then the pandemic hit, and I was like, if you leave, I'll fucking kill your whole family. If you leave, I'll kill your whole family.
If you leave, I won't have sex for a year. Well, you didn't know. Nobody knew it was going to be a year. That was so crazy about it.
It was so weird. And it was, if I was alone, I don't know what. I mean, God save whatever couple I third wheeled.
Yeah.
I would have been on someone's couch and they would have been very upset.
Yeah, we had a couple third wheels in fifth wheels, people that would come by our house and stay for dinner. And I got a friend who's staying with me right now who he shows up. He's like, yeah, I'm driving down the coast. He lives in Seattle. He's like, driving down the coast. I'll probably be there in about 5 or 6 days. 2 days later, at the door, he calls me, and I was at a party. It was a day party. It was on Sunday. And he's like, yeah, I'm here. So this guy was my best friend growing up. And I'm so fucking happy he's here. He hasn't left.
You are.
He hasn't left, and now he's leaving tomorrow, and I don't want him to leave.
Oh, you like him here.
I am begging him to stay longer. We are having so much fun. Hanging out all night talking. And it's not, the best thing is it's not like we're reminiscing nonstop. Mm-hmm. We just have a rhythm. I used to sleep at this kid's house 2 nights a week for 15 years.
I used to sleep with this kid. I definitely thought that's what you were about to say.
Although I don't know if he's going to listen to the podcast, so I have to be careful what I say.
I know.
But he, anyway, we have a rhythm we traveled around Europe together.
That's not helping that pause.
When we
we have a rhythm after you pause. I mean, what were you going to say? That you guys sucked each other's dicks when you were in middle school?
Never sucked each other's dicks.
You jerked each other off?
No, we used to
masturbate next to each other?
No. We would, sunbathe naked sometimes, and we would skinny dip at night in pools, but usually with other people.
That's
so
fine.
We knew each other's bodies. And then we went to Europe together. We both took a year off after high school.
Okay.
And we went to Europe for 6
explore.
months with the backpacks.
Yes.
Hitchhiked
fun.
around.
Oh, that's the best.
Youth hostels and, but sleeping with women the whole way.
Same ones ever?
Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
If you want to wonder if it's homoerotic, we had a bet. Once we got to about 15 years old, we had a bet of whoever's going to lose their virginity first. Oh, the other guy, ready for this? $20.
Okay.
It was a $20 virginity bet. So then it got to the point where, there was a couple times I could have slept with girls, but I didn't because, not that I'm a romantic, but I wanted the $20, but I wanted it to be nice. And so then he comes along and he goes one day and he goes, hey, I did it last night. And he told me with who. I won't say her name. And I was like, dude, that's not special.
Yeah.
and so, but then we put a clause in 6 months before that if one guy lost his virginity, the other guy had 1 week to lose his virginity and we cancel the bet. So I'm hanging out on the benches where I grew up. There was these benches, and you would hang out there at night.
Oh my God!
And you'd smoke, and you'd wait for people to drive by. That hopefully somebody would pick you up in their car, and then you had then you had somewhere to hang out all night. And so this car pulls over, and it's this girl, Mary. I'm not gonna say anybody's name. She's driving, and then the girl who my friend lost his virginity to is in the passenger seat, and they pick us up, and we went and got a bottle of rum. And we parked under the power lines, and where you could pull off the road.
And sparks flew.
And I lost my virginity with my pants around my ankles. My friend Johnny Trouble was on the trunk of the car with this other girl. I was on the hood of the car with my pants around my ankles. It was muddy out. I remember I was slipping, and it was not romantic. And then I saw him the next day, and I go, I lost my virginity, bet's off. But I didn't tell him who it was.
Right.
I said it was a girl from the next town. You don't know her. But I was honest. I did lose it.
You have to tell him today.
I told him on this trip.
You did?
Yeah, I told him on this trip.
Now, next time you're on one of your little walks in Brentwood, maybe you pitch this idea to Judd Apatow.
There you go.
Sounds like quite a movie.
Right.
2 young adolescent boys back in the
80s.
Late
80s.
Trying to lose their virginity. One fucks a fat girl. The other one
wasn't fat.
Oh, she wasn't fat.
No. She was very pretty, and she was a great chick. It was everything going for her, except she was. I would never slut shame. I really wouldn't, because I really think that,
whatevs.
It was whatevs.
Yeah.
Please.
Who cares? And you're just pleasing. People are happy.
Yeah, people are happy. She's happy. I mean, she didn't have a bad relationship to sex. She wasn't doing it out of desperation to be liked. She liked.
Yeah, some people just like it.
Yeah. So that's all. But it was just that. But it wasn't like you had a relationship and lost your virginity. It wasn't.
Right.
So so we talked about that. And
was he like, you fucking asshole, when he found out that you lied to him all these years? Or did you give him $20?
I just kind of brought it up casually, and it was nothing. It was nothing. All right, here's what it is. I'll tell you what it is. What I haven't said is that my mother talked to his mother and I hadn't seen this kid in years.
Right.
Like, we were so tight, and then he moved out to Seattle, and I was on the East Coast, and then I moved to California. We kept in touch barely. And I said maybe some once in the last 15, 20 years. And during that time, my mother told me she talked to his mother and said he's gay.
Oh, okay.
So for 10 years, I've been walking around going oh, my best friend is gay, which is a pattern with me because my friend Tom O'Neill, I told you, who wrote the book Chaos, I was friends with him for 6-7 years before he came out of the closet. Right. And then there's a comedian you and I know very well, who I knew for years before he came out of the closet. I have a lot of close friends
that don't trust you.
Oh, and Kevin Meaney.
Yeah.
Who was in my wedding party. He was one of my close friends in the world. He came out at 50 after me knowing him. Now, is your
thing that you think they're not comfortable telling you, or that your gaydar is off?
No, I think they all just didn't come out in life.
Yeah.
And I seem to be attracted to I love to be intimate with my friends. I like to go deep. I like to really talk about feelings. I like to talk shit. There's a lot of things about me that would be seemingly gay.
Is there anything more fun than Gossip Rogan, by the way?
Gossip Rogan? What's
Gossipy Rogan, when he's being gossipy?
Oh, the best.
I mean, it's the...
Yeah. And there's nothing... I texted him this morning. There was an article about a comedian that we both dislike. And you know him too, and I'll show you afterward. There was an article about him in the press today. I sent it to him at 7:30 a.m. 30 seconds later. Yeah, already read it. Here's other info on that. Radio Rogan.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I understand that though. That's good. So you attract a deeper
I think
relationship.
So. Yeah, I don't love aggro men. They I'm repelled by aggro men. Which and you know, people think, well, what about Rogan? Rogan is the least aggro man.
People get him wrong. He's the same as like Whitney. I'm like, you guys don't understand. These people are very different than what you think they are.
Right.
Every time I talk to Joe, I'm like, why are you not like such a piece of shit?
He is the most sensitive, caring, generous guy. And same thing with Bill Burr is like that. Oh my
God.
Dave
Attell.
Nice.
Dave Attell.
Dave Attell is a mensch.
Nice. They're just the sweetest little angels.
Dave Attell shows up to clubs with bags of candy and gives them to the staff. He overtips everybody.
I know, because I always go and then eat their candy that he gave them.
If he brings a comic on the road with him, he'll double the guy's salary.
I went on the road with him and Jeff Ross doing the Bumpin' Mike's tour, and we went to some casinos. And Dave just gave me $500 to play blackjack with him, and it was like the most fun. He's one of those guys, like you're like it too, where it's like you're always just trying, obviously not in like this setting, but we're like where you just like try to like one up each other's jokes, and it's so fun, and just like always just trying to make each other laugh.
Right.
Just make fun of the fucking card dealer or something.
Yeah.
It was just like such a good time.
Right.
But
who are your besides Whitney? Who are your close friends in comedy?
In comedy,
you seem like you'd be friends with dudes as much as women.
I'm friends with a lot of guys, but I have a lot of girlfriends right now. Like Esther Pavitsky, little Esther. I did
love
podcast with
Esther,
her, but she's one of my best friends in the whole world.
And her boyfriend,
Dave.
Dave's the greatest.
Yeah, he's so awesome. Oh, you wrote with him. We worked on Crashing, right?
Yeah,
yeah.
And I knew him from before on another show too. I can't remember what.
Love?
No, I don't love him. I mean, I like him a lot.
For the Judd Apatow fans out there, you'll get the joke. Yeah, Dave's so funny. Dave's one of those people I've put him into a father position because if you're friends with Esther, he immediately puts you into like a pile.
Yeah, yeah.
So I made him laugh once, and it like, I ruined it he laughed. We were on a walk. And then like 30 seconds later, I was like, did you guys hear Dave laugh at what I said? Oh my God. Every time I see him, I bring it up. Like, do you remember that time you laughed at what I said? I'm always like, I work with Sacha Baron Cohen. No? Okay, that doesn't do anything.
Yeah. I think he's a Harvard guy.
Yeah.
And most Harvard writers I don't love because maybe it's me, but I always feel like they're judging me, but it's really just my insecurity that they went to Harvard.
Right.
But he doesn't give you that vibe at all. He's the most generous, like, anyway, so Esther and who else?
Who do I talk to all the time? Kalila, who I also do the podcast with, who's Bobby Lee's girlfriend. She's not a comic, but she's comedy adjacent enough to be funny as shit.
Yeah.
I talk to, I'm just trying to think of my dailies. I talk to Curtis, who is the GM at the Comedy Store.
He's in Austin now.
He's in Austin, yeah. He's one of my best friends. Joe, I talk to every day.
You talk to Joe every day?
I text with him every day,
yeah.
I'm forgetting people. I don't know. I'm constantly talking to people.
And what does your boyfriend do?
He used to work at the Comedy Store. He used to do editing.
Oh,
called him Basement Todd. He was always in the basement.
Huh.
If you ever did any of the shows down there.
I probably met him. Yeah. No, I used to record my podcast in that
then
basement.
Definitely, yeah.
But they didn't record it for me because...
for whatever.
There was always something always went wrong.
Weird. There's always some sort of contra or something that I'm like...
I just bring my recorder and my mics. And I literally, the only thing I use is their mic stands.
Yeah.
And they're nice enough to let me come and do it. And I plug the club and we walk away friends.
I love that. But I have not done anything down there, but Todd used to work down there.
So he's a video editor.
Like the half Asian kid. I don't know if you remember him. But anyway, So he was working down there doing all the editing for the podcast and stuff. And then he got forlorn, whatever they fired his ass. They fired him. The sweet way of firing him. And then he ended up just like starting a business. And
so it was good for him.
He does all his clips for Whitney, and he's working on a Netflix show coming up. Is it
weird when you want him to edit stuff for you?
He doesn't like. I mean, if I paid him, maybe, but every once in a while, he edited. When we went to Boston, I surprised my nieces, my whole family. We hadn't seen each other for like a year and a half because of the pandemic, so we all got vaccinated. And then I always, in all of history, I've surprised my nieces. I hide under the Christmas tree.
Oh, nice.
So this time,
this is your twin brother's kids.
Yeah. So, and I talk to them all the time. I'm really close with them. They're 9 and 5 now.
Yeah.
And so, but they never know when I'm coming. It's always a surprise. It's so rude to them, but it's so worth it for me.
Yeah.
I'm always like, we're going viral, kids. But, I pop out of a box. This time they got this giant box. So they came home from soccer practice. And then my sister-in-law was like, will you move the box? And I thought, I wore my leopard print jacket thinking it would be like, they would know it was me faster. But instead, my niece, like the look of horror, she's like, I thought you were a tiger. She thought I was an actual wild animal.
And she got scared?
Oh my God. She was scared, so scared for like 10 seconds. And then she was so happy. But so then we walked in, and the second surprise was my dog, who they'd only met. He's a puppy, so they'd only met him over the FaceTime. And then behind the curtains were my parents, so they hadn't seen their grandparents either. So it was like really cute. So he just edited that for me, and that happened like a month ago. So I'm on I get the work from him, but I'm last on the list.
Does he, like during sex, does he
record
not to
it?
Be graphic, no, but does he make you perform oral or do certain things because he did work for you, like editing work?
Well,
like, do you sense a change in the sex
when he's like, you better suck my dick because I made that video of your niece.
Yeah, like subtle stuff like that.
Suck my dick because I made that video of your niece. Yeah, he just says video of my niece over and over again.
Yeah. Right. Oh, you're not done.
He's like, do it for Claire. I'm like, whoa, don't say her name. It's really fucked up. Yeah, no, it's but he edits stuff for me. It's just when he was editing I had a solo podcast that I'm bringing back again, but he was sort of producing it. Well, I'm gonna rebrand it. It was called Me Inspiration. My podcast now is Bloodbath, but I think we're changing it to Trash Tuesdays. Everything's changing names.
Wow.
But which is a story for another time. And
the podcast, is that just you solo?
Well, the podcast that I have that was called Me Inspiration was solo, and I would have guests and stuff. But then over the pandemic, I was just doing it myself, and I was going crazy. Yeah. And I was doing it on my apartment. There was construction. It was just a hell situation. So I put it on hiatus, but I'm going to bring it back as the Annie Lederman Show. But when he did some of the only fights we've ever gotten in were editing. Really? Where I'd be like, what is that? Like, just girlfriend shit is now added into the thing where I'm like, why would you fucking light it like that? Yeah. Like, who lights it? Like, why do you want me to look pretty? You know, just like crazy things getting mixed. But usually it's when I'm on my period too. If I'm honest, I'm never in fights unless I'm PMSing.
Oh, you a bad period person?
Listen, I think I'm a good other times person. Yeah. Is how I like to think about it. I'm pretty good at like, I get a little triggered.
Your baseline is good, but your period is...
I try to be. I work on myself.
Yeah.
But I just...
What do you do to work on yourself? Because I know you're sober. Uh-huh. And do you smoke pot at all?
I do smoke weed. I actually do want to stop smoking weed, but I haven't made the decision where I like truly want to, so I'm having trouble doing it.
Yeah, see, we're the same. We're both what they call California sober, which is high and dry. You don't drink, but you smoke a little. And I'm the same way, but I pretty much just microdose some nights. I have these 2.5 milligram edibles, which is just it's the equivalent of like somebody having a glass of wine at dinner, you know?
Did you used to smoke cigarettes?
Yeah.
Because I think my weed is literally like a smoke thing that I have, because I can eat edibles and stuff, but there's something about I've just finished my set or whatever. Yeah. I never really want to smoke during the day. Every once in a while I will if I have no sets that night. But it's like, I've just finished something. I want there to be like a thing to do at the end. Yeah. And I would love just like smoking a little joint at the end. But then I'm so fucking high. I pass out with my clothes on, my fake eyelashes on my cheek when I wake up. I've eaten like there's just like a trail of Funyuns. It's just like horrible. You just
lose control.
I lose absolute control because I'm just like, I'll have a couple. I'll just take a couple hits. I'm like, I think because of cigarettes, I want to smoke the whole joint.
Yeah. Right.
And then I'm gone. So I got to look at what do I want to, and I've also been wanting to, some of the work I've been doing is like.
Wait, I want to talk about high and dry a little bit more because it is interesting because for me, I didn't smoke pot. When I got sober, I didn't touch anything for 15 years, nothing.
Did you feel guilty when you smoked for the first time?
Not as much as I thought I would. And I think part of the problem was I got diagnosed with ADHD and I'd always struggled with depression. So I got medicated like with a cocktail, not fucking Prozac. Like here's a fistful of shit to take day and night. And I've gone off a bunch of that. But like at the time, it made me feel like I'd lost my sobriety because I was on so many pills. Yeah. And so I just felt like smoking pot had become so normalized living in California that one night I was at the San Francisco Punchline, and it was New Year's Eve, and I'm standing there with the cast of the Marijuana Logs because they'd done a show in San Francisco too. So it was Tony Kameen and Brian Posehn and who else was in the Marijuana Logs?
It had to have been Doug Benson, right?
And Doug Benson. Yeah. And they lit a joint, and Dave Rath was standing there, who was my manager
like, if
at the time.
my manager is gonna smoke, I guess I gotta smoke. He's always smoking weed, though. Every time I see Dave Rath, I feel like it.
Yeah, I played golf with him yesterday. He's the greatest.
Oh, tell him I said hi.
Yeah, and so I smoked, and then I did it very rarely, but then it started to kind of work for me, like going on the road, being alone in a hotel room, and you're in a hotel, and they're like, hey, you want to work St. Louis? And you're like, fucking great, man. St. Louis has got good jazz. And then they take you to the club, and it's like 25 minutes outside of the city.
Yeah, you're not there. You're in a fucking, well, for me, you're in a Holiday Inn.
And there's no restaurants nearby, so you're eating in the hotel
Domino's
restaurant.
If you're lucky.
Diamond. And so all of a sudden, having a couple puffs on a Friday night after your shows in a hotel room where you're going to be alone all week just started to work for me.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. And do people bring you weed?
Oh,
people
of course.
Will bring me blunts, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Someone tried to give me Coke the other day, and I'm like, I'm like,
really?
Why would I? And they come up to you so disgusting and coked out. It's like, you're not a good advertisement for the drug. You're fucking sweating and your jaw's going.
Having Coke is a bad advertisement for Coke.
It's so nasty.
It immediately makes you think that the person's got something wrong with them.
But it's also just
it's an asshole drug.
It's so gross. It just to me is so dirty.
Wait, so how do you justify? That's not the word I'm looking for. Smoking pot. Because you had a real issue with sobriety. Yeah. Did you ever go to the program?
Yeah, I was in the program. I sang Frenemies with Bill.
Yeah.
But I didn't like it because I felt, so I went for 3 months. I did my 90 and 90, which is when you go 90 days.
This is when you were in your 20s?
This is when I was 25, yeah. So I'd moved to New York from Santa Fe, New Mexico. So I grew up in Philadelphia, went to college in Santa Fe, New Mexico. Not much to do there except get fucking blackout drunk all the time. So I was a bartender, a go-go dancer, just doing crazy shit in this tiny town, just fucking...
A go-go dancer?
In this small-ass town. It's the only town that probably would hire me as a dancer. I am not very good at dancing.
Yeah.
But I would just get wasted and get up there and just fall off the stage. I never threw up on the podium, but... my knees were bad. I had like little chicken cutlets that would come up. I would just be crying. Like people were like, you're the most depressed go-go dancer. I felt objectified. I remember being like, you're objectifying me. And the club owners were like, you don't have to come here. Like, we don't care if you come or not. Like, it's fine.
How was the money?
They gave me $50 an hour. And then and they would tip me. The owners would tip me, but I didn't like when other people would tip. I had like these like strict rules and like
you don't want to be treated like a stripper.
Exactly, but there were 3 podiums. So one group was me, this like skinny, cute little gay twink kid who was old enough but looked like young, and then this drag queen named Brandy who was this like black man.
Is anyone besides drag queens named Brandy?
Brandy the singer.
Yeah.
But maybe after her, they all named themselves that.
Right.
But so he was Calvin by day and Brandy by night. Oh. He was a waiter by day and a...
Really?
Yeah, and which I was a nanny and waiter too. I mean, I did... There were times when I would go to like the nanny job and just still glitter like all over my face. I remember the parents came to see me dance one night. It was so weird. I'm like, they're gonna try to fuck me.
Really?
Yeah.
The guy tried to fuck you?
No, but I'm like, they're gonna try, and they never did.
Would you have?
Not a good dancer. No. No way. I wasn't really like the job. Like it just wasn't. I wasn't.
You were just a drunk for the sake of being a drunk.
I was just
you
a
weren't
drunk.
like a drunk who then was promiscuous.
No, I was. But I think I was a drunk because I didn't know how to like set boundaries. So I would just like get drunk and be like, whatever, I was drunk. Who cares what happens?
Right.
I was promiscuous.
Right.
The kitchen staff got it. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
But it is weird. Sometimes I'll get messages now that I'm becoming a little more high profile. People will message me out of nowhere and they'll be like, hey, do you remember that time you like wore roller skates and came to my dorm room and tried to suck my dick? And it's like, no, I didn't fucking remember that. And a lot of time has passed. Yeah. I'm a different person.
Wow.
It's like so gross.
Do you reply to those messages?
No, I usually just like block them.
Yeah,
I'm just like, but also I'm like, that is pretty cool. And why did you say no?
Someone roller skates to your dorm room. I got to say, you've earned it. Whatever you want to do to me, I'm going to let you do.
I had this kid, the
roller
Swede.
Girl.
There was this kid, the Swede, that went to my college. He was a Swedish kid named Nick something.
From Sweden.
From Sweden. We called him the Swede. And he lived in my dorm rooms. And I would put on roller skates and like knee-high socks, like a little skirt. And I would go knock on his door and I would go like, he would just be like, I'm working. And I was like, okay. And I would like take my shirt off and wait for him to be done working and make out with him. And that was it. And then I would leave. That was like our thing.
He's in Sweden right now on a podcast going, this girl used to come to my dorm. And they're like, I don't believe you, Sven. It didn't happen.
And I came out 7 years ago.
So you started going to meetings after...
Yeah, when I was 25, I just started doing comedy, and I went home with an open micer, my first open mic, and I knew not to do that. But I just got so drunk.
Yeah, that's really bad form.
Yeah, you don't want to be like sucking and fucking. You're there to do work.
Yeah.
And I did always want this to, like, once I started, I was like, I wanted this to be my job. So, so I woke up on this air mattress in fucking Bushwick with this fucking guy that was so unfunny. He hated him. And I remember the night before being like, stop buying me drinks. I'm an alcoholic. I'm going to keep drinking them. Stop buying me them. So he's like, all right, bitch, I'm going to keep buying them.
Yeah.
And then I didn't do anything with him or anything, but I just like woke up fully clothed on his air mattress and it was snowing. And I was just like, ugh, this sucks. And he lived with another comic. And I remember coming down the stairs and him like snickering. And I was like, ugh. So I just quit drinking after that.
That was it. That's the last drink you had.
After my first open mic.
Good for you.
Because I like stand-up. So that's why I don't feel like at risk of drinking.
But that's the thing about the I know, believe me, I know people that work the program. And when I say work it, like, I have an aunt who quit drinking fucking 30 years ago, 40 years ago, and she still goes to meetings.
Right, she brings the cookies, she
volunteers, reaches out, does service, and God bless her. It changed her fucking life. You know what? And I don't begrudge anybody that. For some people it really works. I went to some meetings, and I just felt like the lows I was hearing from other people were so fucking low. I was like, dude, I am in the wrong room because I never sucked a dick for a sandwich.
I know. You might have actually been at Slaw, but what if you were at the Sex and Love? You just actually were in the wrong one. No, but it is like, I found myself, this was one of the reasons I stopped going to meetings, because I was like sitting there and I was comparing my story to every other story, and every feeling was either... that person's way more fucked up than me. I'm not an alcoholic. They're an alcoholic. Or like that person's a pussy, like learn to party. And I'm like, wait, what am I doing?
Yeah, right.
And it was just so much talking about, like one time I went and got my hair cut by this girl and I was like, don't cut my hair here. And she cut it right there.
Yeah.
And that was the day I learned, don't tell people what not to do. Tell them what you want them to do. Because if you say, don't do this, it puts it in someone's head. And that's how I feel about in AA.
Like that guy, don't buy me drinks. And he kept buying you drinks.
Because you're just saying, buy me drink. Like you're just saying the thing. So I'm in the meetings and all we're doing is talking about drinking. I just gave it up. I just stopped doing this thing and now all we're doing is talking about it.
Yeah.
I don't think about drinking. I don't think about my drinking stories. I don't think about them. I think about them once a month, maybe. I can't even imagine going to like a meeting every day and reliving it. But for some people, that's really important for them, and they don't have an outlet, and they don't have that community. So I understand that. I did have comedy, so I started going. I did my 3 months, my 90 and 90. Took 3 months off. Started a comedy show. Came back with my flyers. Came to there were a couple guys I wanted to hook up with. Got their numbers. Handed out my flyers. And then, I was done.
Yeah.
But I do, I recommend people go there if they're quitting. It's a good place to go.
I think start there.
Yeah.
And if it's too much, see a therapist.
Yeah.
Therapy helped me. That's when I quit drinking. I had started because my dad was an alcoholic, so I used to go to Al-Anon meetings.
Wow.
Right out of college, I went to Al-Anon, and I had a very life-changing experience with Al-Anon because I didn't know what an alcoholic was because all my friends' parents were fucking drunks too.
Right.
And so all of a sudden, like, I started telling people stories about, getting beat by a drunk, all this stuff, and they were just like, this isn't normal, dude.
Yeah.
And then I started dating somebody who was a program person, and they recommended I try it, and I went to the meeting, and like somebody qualified, told their story, and like 6 minutes in, I'm sobbing.
Yeah.
And I was just like, wow, this is powerful.
When you find people that have had similar experiences to you, it really does. I mean, it's really incredible. I definitely had a good time there, but I remember like a couple things, like you can pick your higher power.
Yeah.
And so I picked Shaquille.
Whitney?
I picked Whitney. I love her. I really love her. I'm addicted to her.
Yeah.
She really is like she's a drug. I picked Shaquille O'Neal from the movie Kazam, like as a genie.
Nice.
Remember when he was a genie?
Yeah.
People were so mad at me.
Yeah.
I was like, I gotta get the fuck out of here. They were like, you're gonna drink, and I was like, I'm not gonna drink. And then I remember because I was just starting comedy, and I had like the cockiness of like a newcomer that's kind of found the thing they want to do.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't necessarily like killing as a comic, but I was not gonna not become a professional comedian. Like I was just like,
and
this
Shaquille
is the
was
only
gonna help
thing
you
I
get
want to do.
there. Yeah.
Shaquille's gonna help me Shaquille, and so I go to my sponsor or whoever, and I was telling them, I want to do I'm starting to stand up or whatever, and they're like, yeah, maybe. And this is after she saw me do a show. She goes, maybe, I always wanted to be a fashion designer, and now I'm really happy being a seamstress. I'm like, bitch, I'm not gonna be a fucking seamstress. Go fuck yourself. And then some other guy, like I was like talking to I had like a male sponsor who was like a little effeminate, so he felt fine. He didn't feel predatory.
From Seattle?
No, but that's funny. What if it was the same person? Yeah, he's actually visiting here. He's staying with a friend.
Oh, no shit.
So weird. But so I had talked to him too about comedy. I was like, I just kind of know that if I focus on this, I could be really great on it. Like if I really worked hard. And he goes, that's the alcoholic mind thinking you're going to be great. And I'm like, wow. Guys, I got to get out of here because I need to like feel like I'm working towards something. And,
Well, that is the weird thing about self-help in general is everything is about peace and about getting rid of anxiety and stress and all that stuff. And I do think that what's the goal of your life? Like I like excitement. I like challenge. I like, being the center of attention sometimes, not always, but sometimes. And that goes against everything they teach you about peace.
Yep.
It's always supposed to be ego, squash your ego.
Right.
What's a comedian? It's the opposite. It's all ego.
I know.
And so it's really tough when you try to be a comedian who also goes heavy into the self-help stuff because one does not play well with the other.
Well, the crazier thing you have to do is you have to convince yourself that what you're doing is helping the world. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I see.
You have to elevate to a place that's so psychotic.
Like Ellen.
Yeah, you have to be like, I'm a gift.
Yep. You have to be Ellen DeGeneres.
And I'm going to yell at my staff, and nobody can have beef jerky within a 6-foot radius of me because I am speaking God's light into your ears.
Yeah.
I'm working in this very specific coaching program right now that's kind of blowing my mind.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's this. I started listening to this guy's podcast, Jim Fortin. And he used to be a hypnotist. And so, but he also his brother-in-law is like a very famous shaman, or I guess famous in the you can't really be famous as a shaman, but so he's got like shaman type shit and then brain science. So it's like this really cool.
Wow.
Yeah, his program's just been blowing my mind. It's a 14-week thing, and we're on week 10, and I just can't believe it.
Is it live streamed, or you just watch the tapes?
It's both. So it's there's coursework that they give you, and then they have live Zooms twice a week, and it's just I can't believe it.
No shit.
And there's a Facebook page. It's just I've never spent so much money on something in my life that has felt like it's made me more money. Like, it's crazy.
Well, if you spend money, you're going to take it more seriously. It's like when people get free tickets to a comedy show and they're the worst
suck. Fucking people ever. Right. I was doing the Mall of America. Which, by the way,
it's all free passes. Yeah,
I'm a fucking mall bitch. Okay, I love the mall.
I love the mall.
And I'm a chatty bitch. And I try, sometimes I try to keep my anonymity, but it's very hard. I'm boisterous.
Yeah.
So I'm wandering around the mall by myself. My boyfriend couldn't come with me. And I'm having the time of my life. I took old timey photos alone. I was going on the roller coaster.
Did you go on the roller coaster?
Oh my God, Greg! I was having the time of my fucking life.
You embraced them all.
I bought I leaned in so hard.
Yeah.
I mean, it's in my heart. I feel like I honestly could get married at a food court or something. But I got my boyfriend for his birthday one of those crystal things that etches the picture into it that you can get at one of the kiosks at the mall.
Yeah.
I paid $250 to get him a giant one with me, him, and our dog, our Christmas photo that has these automatic guns in them. We have machine guns in our hand.
Wow.
And I had them etch it into it with this light spinning around, and I found that at the mall. I mean, everything's mall in my life right now. I want all my clothes airbrushed. I love it. But so I'm waiting in line, and these three, two looked homeless, one looked foreign.
Yeah.
But they're all together. I'm waiting in line. It's the Sunday, my last show. Waiting in line to get my pass for the amusement park. And these guys, I'm wearing a leopard print jacket, and these guys come up and they're like, "You should ride the rides with us." And I go, "Oh, you're here for the show?" And they're like, "What show?" I'm like, "Oh, it's so embarrassing. I thought they knew who I was."
Yeah.
But they just were also wearing leopard print. They're like, "We should go on the rides together because we're in leopard print." And I was like, okay, why not? So then I'm hanging out with the guy in the line, one of the guys that looked homeless. He's like, "Oh, this guy's being so annoying." And I was like, "Guy?" And he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "I'm straight, but I have these sugar daddies that give me money, but they end up being a problem or whatever." And I'm like, "Oh my God, I have this street hustler that I'm hanging out with."
My own private Idaho.
Yeah, you'll probably be friends with him in 30 years. But I'll finally tell you about it. He's from Seattle. But so I was and they were just such weird, and they were telling me how they met. It's just not that I haven't lived in a car, but it's they had lived in a car more recently than me. So of course, after I hang out with them for 3 rides, I'm like, I guess I gotta give you tickets to the show.
Yeah.
So I give them tickets to the show. They're so fucking rude to the staff. So rude. It's if you're with me, to assume that's why when people get in these positions of power and they abuse the power and people are so surprised, it's look at half the world or more would do that. That's why they got power. These people got the power of getting free tickets and just ran with it.
Yeah.
Just assuming that because I'm the headliner, I don't know, it was just so weird. Or I invited this girl, did my hair for free. She heard me on Marin and was like, "I'll do your hair for free." And I was like, "Okay." So I go, she's a really nice girl. No red flags. I'm like, she goes, "Oh, can I come to the Comedy Store?" I go, "Yeah, I'll get you tickets, no problem." They come in, they're under my name, they're in the OR, screaming at Bobby, just screaming things in the middle of his set. And I'm just like, "Guys, your name," and everyone's coming to me like, "You're friends." And I'm like, "She just did my hair once."
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Well, I'm always telling my bank tellers they can come. It's my bad.
Yeah, I've really drawn a line with that. My friend Pete, who, by the way, I have to say, I don't think is gay because I asked him finally, and I kind of said to myself, I'm not going to ask him about if he's gay. What am I going to say? I hear you're gay.
Wait, he still hasn't told you?
No. So he's staying with me, and so I said, I'm not going to bring it up. If he wants to bring it up and broach the subject, I'll wait till he's comfortable. And obviously, I'm fucking have no problem with it at all. If anything, I want him to tell me so that he can be relieved because he clearly has been holding on to this all these years.
Right.
And so then yesterday I couldn't help myself, and so we were coming out of a restaurant, and I go, "So how's the love life?" And then he goes, I'd like to have a girlfriend, but they haven't been working out. And I was just all of a sudden I was like, all right, either we're still playing a game here, or my mom, who is the captain of fucking misinformation, got it wrong. And so, and
it's a true game of telephone.
Yes. And his mother's dead, so I can't check.
And so that means his mother's from a time where maybe they used gay as happy.
Maybe he's gay.
Maybe he's just a happy guy.
Right.
Gay as can be.
Yeah. And he's queer, which means he's just a little bit different.
It's a little weird.
Yeah. He's a happy weird guy, gay queer.
He's funny, haha, not funny queer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, so just to clear that up, but I want to go back to this course that you're taking. What's the sort of mission statement when you sign up for this course?
Okay, so I've been taking I've been listening to his podcast for a long time. I'm trying to think of what really hooked me. Like what was like, I got it.
But I mean, is it about self-actualization or is it more
specific? It's more about money, I would say. It's like, but it's not like fully money. It's like, it's kind of whatever you want. But I was drawn to him because I was like, why? This is how I became really good friends with Rogan too. We were like hanging out outside the Comedy Store. You know how we'll hang out in the parking lot. Yeah. It's one of my favorite times to see you. And I'm like looking at one of his like nice cars. I'm like looking at the car that I'm like living out of. And I'm like, how do we do the same thing? Uh-huh. And I have like, it's obviously not, it's something I'm not doing. Like I have to accept responsibility for something I'm putting out or what I'm like, it's me. So I was like asking Rogan, he was like, well, what are you doing? Do you have a podcast? Do you have this? Do you have that? And then, so I started my solo podcast then and stuff, but it was like, he just kind of like laughed at me. And it was funny because now that I am starting to make money, I do kind of see where people kind of I can look at other people and be like, all right, maybe just figure it out and get your shit going. Because I was just like blocking. I just was seeing all these places where I was blocking it. So he does a lot of self-hypnosis with us. And so I've been doing this thing every day, 3 times a day.
Is it like a meditation?
It is like a meditation. It's like a thing that he leads you through.
Yeah. And
I go into this room and you pick out like, so it'll be like, I'm here to reprogram my subconscious mind and mine is to be like a money magnet or abundance. And so then you write that on a imaginary cork board or whatever. And then you can go to a computer and you can Google questions, which I usually skip that. And then you go and you sit in front of a screen and you see yourself on the screen doing something. And then you step into the screen and then you are in the screen, and then you imagine your life like later on when you already have these things. So I just imagine like money, just like coins and things like flying at me, like Scrooge McDucking into money and stuff. Because what I realized is through this course is that like the reason my subconscious identity is that I don't have money. And that I don't deserve money or whatever. So I realized it's like a self-esteem problem. And then I read this book called...
I see that because I know kids that grew up wealthy and I know kids that grew up poor. And they had the same intelligence growing up. They had the same drive. Like I have friends that work their fucking asses off, but they don't work jobs that lead to money. They just think you're supposed to work. Whereas the wealthy the kids that came from wealthy families, I saw them and I saw that they cared about their SAT scores and they cared about what school they went to and they cared about, their resumes early on. Like everybody else was just taking jobs at fucking whatever. And they were like, no, I'm going to intern at this play. And granted, they're getting direction from parents, but it's a mindset that you are wealthy or you're not. And my father used to say, everybody is where they want to be.
Right. And that's true. I agree with that.
You have a point at which you say this is enough. And and that's not judgmental. That isn't to say you're happier when you make more. Every study shows that once your basic needs are met, rent, mortgage, housing, whatever, it's the excess of money beyond that does not cause more happiness. Yeah. So I think that people who find a craft working with their hands, I know plenty of happy electricians.
That girl, that slut that we didn't slut shame from your high school, she worked very well with her hands.
She worked really well with her hands.
So happy.
Yeah, and she worked a lot.
Yes.
Yeah,
and she was busy. I mean, the knuckles on that girl, let me tell you.
They move fast.
The forearm, she really nailed it.
Yeah, and she could really network. I think that's the key with making a lot of money is you got to get it out there. You got to have a brand.
She could network. There, give it to me. Now, are we going to call your friend and ask him if he's gay or not?
No, I don't. He's not. If he is, he's not telling me.
You have to tell him.
Here's the thing
story.
about.
I know you don't want to force an outing. I understand that, but it's like, does it die with his mother?
He and I used to go into Greenwich Village a lot as kids, and we would buy vintage stuff. We would listen to the Smiths.
Okay.
There was a lot of stuff that we used to put on mascara and go to Danceteria, which was a big nightclub in the city when we were teenagers. There was a lot of stuff that was like not normal because the guys in my town were very male.
Yeah. And you were from Maine?
Tarrytown, New York.
Oh, New York. Oh, okay.
And he was from the next town over. So he wasn't really in the loop with my guys.
Right.
Who were much more like sports, beer, fucking fighting.
Mascara only on Halloween.
Even then, they wouldn't know. They wouldn't know. Everybody dressed as a bum, which is essentially dressing as a homeless person. Nobody dresses as homeless people for Halloween anymore.
Maybe a hobo. You'd have like the stick with your belongings in it.
Yeah. But nobody like puts on stinky clothes and acts crazy and yells at themselves.
It's too dark now. I know we didn't do it right. We weren't like, there's such a vocal component.
What's the sluttiest Halloween outfit you ever wore?
I was like a tetherball champion. I just wore like a slutty like tetherball-y outfit, but then I also had like a tetherball hanging off my body. So I was the pole too.
Yeah, that's good. I like that.
But I always thought it'd be funny to like take your funniest childhood Halloween costume and then slutty it up as an adult. So probably my best costume, which there isn't a picture of and it kills me, is I for some reason I got really into Friar Tuck. We were reading something and I got into
Robin Hood.
Yeah, it was Robin Hood. I don't know why I liked. It was third grade. I just was liked that they were bald in the center. So I found this wig, Friar Tuck wig.
Oh, that's great.
And my mom made me like a brown robe, and I was Friar Tuck.
That's awesome.
And I'm like, where is that picture?
So the slut version was Friar Fuck.
Wouldn't that be so funny to be Friar Fuck? It's just my merkin.
Yeah.
It was just Friar Tuck's a good drag name too.
Friar Tuck. Yeah, that's good. That's really good.
Listen, guys.
This is why we write on some of the biggest.
We write with the biggest stars.
I just got a text that I got a Bitcoin deposit from somebody.
So are you getting paid in Bitcoin?
I haven't fucked with Bitcoin yet.
Yeah, I don't.
Do you have any?
No, I don't have any.
You don't have any money yet.
I'm just starting to get money, so I don't even know. What do I do with this? Do you don't buy things at the mall?
I'm really good with money because I'm very conservative with it, and I believe that
I can tell by your outfit and the size of your office. And then what are you going to do with that money?
I'm going to retire when I feel like it.
And what are you going to do when you retire?
Play paddle tennis and golf and
same
travel.
Thing, just don't do stand-up?
Yeah. I'll never stop doing stand-up.
I know. I don't want to retire.
I don't know why I would stop, but I just mean that I have freedom. All right, listen. I got a couple questions I want to ask you, and we've already gone way long. I usually do an hour. We're in an hour and 20 minutes already.
Love it.
I could talk to you all day.
I could keep going.
We're both Venetians. We live like half a mile from each other.
I'll hang
I didn't
out
even
with
realize.
you.
Let's hang out.
I would love to.
I would love to have you come over to dinner.
I would love to go to dinner.
Sit next to my son.
I'd love to meet your fucking wife.
Yeah.
I would love to meet the family. I wasn't sure if you liked me or not because you didn't follow me back on things, which I don't try not to take personally.
I don't follow anybody.
Great. Perfect. Because that's what I try to tell myself. That's what I'm also working on in this course. It's like, if I'm going to make something up, I might as well make it up to be good.
Everybody that I follow on Twitter, I followed the first day I got Twitter. I said, all right, I should add some friends. Click, 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 click. And I wouldn't
it doesn't. I don't. My identity is not in my fucking Instagram or anything. But I just was like, oh, I wonder. But then you know what I like about you?
What?
Whenever we do these panel shows, you know the vibe of the panel shows from when we did Chelsea, where it's like you got to jump in, say your joke, you don't get a chance. I still have that hyper energy even on when we did Spade, which is way more relaxed. Everyone has a chance to talk.
Right.
But I kept jumping in, and I remember apologizing to you. I was like, oh man, I'm sorry, I stepped on your joke, and you were like, oh, are you fucking kidding me? You're like, what? Shut up.
Yeah.
Don't even bother with that.
No, it's about fucking throwing logs on the fire, those panel shows. Yeah.
But it's funny, Bobby Lee was mad at me for like 2 years because I stepped on his joke. I had no clue he was mad at me. He's like, so in that time we were in that fight, how did you feel about me? And I was like, motherfucker, I didn't know we were in a fight. I had no clue.
Wait, what were we just starting to talk about?
You're going to ask questions.
Oh, yeah. Well, you're going to come over. Yeah, I want to ask you some questions. I've just lately thought that I should prepare more for podcasts. So I thought I'd think of questions that I want to ask all. Like for a while, I was asking all of my guests how they pack because I find it fascinating that that's part of our job, and most people really have it down to a science. Now you don't hit the road as hard as a lot of people. You're somebody who's made a name for yourself in LA, but now you're starting to work the road more.
Nobody knows you.
No, I mean, you're not somebody that packs a bag for the last 10 years every weekend.
Listen, I run to the airport. I run to my gate like I'm fucking Ross chasing Rachel or Rachel chasing Ross or whatever. I mean, I'm always late. I'm always like rushing. Yeah. I'm begging people if I can go in front of them. I live off that chaos. I'm now trying.
I'm the same way.
I'm now trying to not do that. Yeah. I'm trying to know the experience of just being somewhere early. And it's not as fun. It's fucking boring.
It's boring as hell.
It's so fucking boring.
You know what helps? TikTok. Now I can be early to shit because I love TikTok so much that if I've got 25 free minutes, nothing makes me happier.
Are you on TikTok? Stand-up clips?
A few.
Yeah.
Not a lot.
I haven't gotten into the...
It's hard to get traction with them, I think.
I think it's easy to.
Really? I've had some blow up and some get nothing. It's very random. It's probably a matter of like who likes it and
like what time you do it at.
Yeah, I don't know the science of it, but I have the people that produce my podcast, Midcoast Media. They take my stand-up clips and put them out a little bit. But I don't know how to do it, and I don't know how to follow it and check it.
Now,
here's my social media thing. Okay. I try to be good. I put out I'll put out a video clip of us. We're going to shoot something after the show. And that's it. I don't really do much else. I don't start conversations with Whitney on Twitter that we go back and forth and then people go, "Oh, this is fucking cool. Look at it." And, I mean, do you do that kind of stuff?
No, I mean, sometimes. It really depends on if there's like a good bit, but I do like to just be funny in all the things I write. Like I try to not be, I hate when people are being serious. Yeah. Well, online, it's such a fucking nightmare.
You mean like come see me in Sacramento?
No, I mean, that's fine. But it's like when people are like, guys, there's a black-owned business over here. It's like, at least make a joke. Like, I don't post the black-owned business. Please make a joke about it, though. Yeah. Like, please. Yeah. Please. Or like, today's International Gun Day. Like, put your guns down, guys. Yeah. You know, like, I'm wearing orange for...
I'm thinking about, I'm not sure about it, but I'm thinking about getting a picture of my daughter on graduation day with me and posting that on Instagram.
That's sweet, though.
That's sweet, right? I think I did it with my son. I did.
I
posted
did.
my son on graduation day. Right. So I think I have to do that. I just try to keep her off of my social media. But now she's 18.
No, but like life events and stuff, I do think that's good. I do try to put some sort of joke in the caption or something. Right. I tag a thing. I just think that there's like always opportunities for jokes or whatever. Did you like how I got on this podcast?
Yes.
Did you like my line?
I forget how it started, but like once again, like Instagram, somebody just pointed out to me, hey, you have 14 messages on Instagram. I didn't know you could get direct messages. So I go back and it's like voicemails from Spade and all this shit. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Spade always does the voicemails. It's like, are you blind? Why are you doing voicemails? It must be these driving all the time.
So wait, so how did we end up interacting?
This was right on the thread? I was riding the wave of the South Park debacle. Yeah. Where you were accused of stealing a South Park bit, and then you posted with Andrew Santino, and I wrote, "Hey, South Park also hasn't had me on. You better not get accused of stealing again." Right. So I was like, I'll come in with like a topical. Yeah. I know Greg will like that.
Yeah, and here we are.
I've shoehorned my way on.
I'm happy to have you on. I don't know why you haven't been on before. It certainly was an oversight that I was not.
I don't care.
So here's some questions. I think I'm going to ask all my guests these 4 questions from now on.
Was old.
What?
How do you pack was the old one?
That was the old one. I'm sick of it. What crazy adventures do you want to try in your life? Or what's the one crazy adventure you want to try in your life? Let's make it that.
I've been skydiving. I went to an escape room. How was it? It was honestly...
Because that's my graduation present for my daughter. I'm going to take her skydiving.
You're going to love it. Yeah. It's going to be so fun. So I did it a few years, like maybe 3 years ago. And I had been waiting my whole life to go. I was, I'm an adrenaline junkie. I'm a fucking love drinking, love being late to things. I felt a little bit disappointed because I didn't feel at any point like I was going to die. Right. I was like, I came here to feel like I'm going to fucking faceplant.
Right.
And I trusted the man too much. Like, it just seemed too well oiled.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, like I was thinking that, and I was doing a joke on stage about how the next time I go skydiving, I want to make sure it has like a 1-star review.
Yeah.
And I would love, my dream would be like for the guy when you're going up in the plane to be like, there's 2 parachutes, one works, you have to pick one. Like, that is exciting to me. So I told that story, and then this woman came up and she goes, my husband is a skydiving instructor and he'll do crazy shit with you. And I was like, oh, and like when that reality became real, I was like, I never really DM'd back. I was like, oh, maybe that is like, because he would scare the shit out of me. Oh, you think you want to die? I'm like, oh. But so that is still appealing to me. But my friend and I always go, her dad passed away from Parkinson's and she used to go skydiving with him. So we always go on his like either death day or his birthday.
Are you sure it was Parkinson's? Maybe he was just really scared from the skydiving.
It was suicide because of the Parkinson's.
And thanks for coming by, Annie Lederman.
Let's just say he ended up looking the same way he would have looked if the chute didn't open. But anyway. But my friend, like, we always go on her dad's birthday or death day. And this year we ended up going, now she has kids. So.
Oh.
What?
Today's the day my dad died. June 2nd.
I'm sorry.
Sorry to interrupt you.
No, I'm sorry to bring up a painful memory.
It was 28 years ago.
Really? How old were you?
That. I was 24.
That's it? That's not fair.
No, it was very sad.
That's so sad.
Goodbye, Dad.
And your mom, did your mom remarry?
Never remarried. Barely dated. Barely went on any dates. Loved the guy. My dad was charming as fuck.
Yeah.
He was bigger than life. He was a radio guy in New York. And he was,
really? Cool.
You know, Bronx Irish, big fucking 6'2" tough guy from the Bronx. And he just went into any bar in New York City. You walk in, Fitz, everybody knew him. And you go to the Mets game, everybody knew him. And he always bought every drink, every dinner in his presence he bought. And, drove a Lincoln Town car because he thought he was a tough guy.
That's so cool.
And, he was great. It was very sad. It was I really
Did he die
him.
Suddenly?
Yeah, had a heart attack out of nowhere. Yeah, 52 years old.
And you were away? You were living somewhere else? Or?
I was in Boston, yeah.
And were you performing comedy then?
Yeah, he was a big supporter of my comedy.
And then finally you had one. Was it sad when your only fan died? Let's dig him up.
Picture if Whitney died, what that would feel like for you right now.
It is so embarrassing, but I can't deny it. I love her. She's my dad.
Yep.
She's my dad.
Mm-hmm.
So do you remember how it was like right after he passed away to do stand-up? Was it hard, or was that like, did you seek refuge in your performances?
I took a little time off. I took off a few weeks, which was rare for me. No, I was probably 25, 26. I'd been doing stand-up for a few years, and so Kevin Meaney had me opening for him, and we went to a gig together, and he knew my dad very well.
Oh, yeah. How well? Was it?
So maybe it's a family thing.
Maybe your dad was hooking up with all your friends.
Wow. That would be such a connection to my dad, though, because now I could talk to all my friends about him.
Like, how was he?
How was he? Did he? Was he giving? Was he a giving guy?
Now, your dad, you were brought up Irish Catholic? Or
yeah.
No? Yeah, okay. So that could explain some of the repression surrounding you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Brutal.
All right, we didn't finish the question. So what is the one crazy adventure you still want to do in your life?
I want to meet your dad.
That was so fucked up. He's dead.
I don't know. There's things I want to do, but they're all just like...
Ayahuasca in Peru.
Already done it.
You did ayahuasca in Peru?
Well, I did it in San Diego.
How was it?
And in Chicago. It was great. It was excellent.
Did you learn anything?
My dad is, the reason I'm asking all these questions, my dad's 79, so I'm always like, so worried. And he had heart problems, from the syrup chugging since I was a kid. So I've always just been, I'm so obsessed with my dad. So just like, so worried about my dad dying. And now I'm, he's 79. We talk about it all the time. It's very open. But my ayahuasca experience was really like profound with that and really showed me where a lot of the issues I was having in my relationships were related to me just being so afraid of this inevitable thing that's going to happen that I wasn't like surrendering to. So then I was able to have like this whole kind of funeral and give this eulogy to my dad. And I had an experience where like I was like hyperventilating because I was so sad. I was just crying as if he had really already died. Huh. And then his like body was like inside my body. I was like, that is the only time your dad's allowed inside you. But it really was like, I could feel him in me. And I was like, oh, I understand how you just live through, your parents just live through you, how we just stay alive through each other.
Right, right, absolutely.
And that he'll always be with me and stuff like that. And so that made me want to maybe have a kid. That's when I kind of like was like, oh, maybe I do want to have kids, but TikTok. We'll see.
So were you guided through the ayahuasca experience?
Yeah, I had a shaman who's he lives in Peru. He's from South Africa. He's a really nice guy. And I met him through Curtis, the GM. He was at the Comedy Store one night, and he had come a couple times when he had been in town to do ceremonies, and he liked me. I was like one of his favorite comedians, which I was like, oh. And he was gay, so I was like, oh, he's not hitting on me. All right. And I had a weird set that I didn't like in the main room. Got off stage like in a shitty mood, and there were this guy and this woman, and they just were good vibes, and I high-fived them, and then went into the office, and Curtis was like, oh. Later on, Curtis was like, oh, my friend wanted to meet you. And it all like unfolded from there. And
was it like a one-on-one session with the guy, or there was a few people?
There was like 20 people, I think.
20
which is a lot. Yeah, which is a lot.
Shit.
But it was actually really cool because you could hear everyone's stories, and it wasn't overwhelming or anything. And
what was the setting?
It was this yoga studio that's kind of like a retreat center where in the desert, and really beautiful big room. And
the desert of San Diego?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it wasn't near water. It was just, I don't know how far, maybe an hour out of San Diego. But so we all had sleeping bags and cots and stuff, and we did the ceremony there, kind of in a circle. And then you would go around and set your intentions, and you would drink your first cup. And then every few hours he would offer you another cup.
Would you say your intention in front of everybody else?
Yeah. You want to know what my intention was?
Yeah, you wanted to make peace with your father's death.
No, I said my intention was to shit my pants. So then, if I shit my pants, it wouldn't be embarrassing. Sometimes people shit their pants, but I didn't shit my pants.
Oh, I didn't.
But I did. It was like right after Brody had died. It was just like a really healing. It felt like 30 years of therapy is what it felt. It felt like I got all these answers that were already inside of me. Neil Brennan's been doing ayahuasca, and I was talking to him about it, and I was like, but isn't it cool to realize that's all in your brain? He's like, I don't think it's in your brain. I think it's like coming from the outside. And I was like, maybe it is. But for me, it's like more empowering to think that I have all the answers to what I need. And the reason I think that is because I've done journaling and had the same experience. Have you ever like, this is literally the most like cheesy shit to do, but like just journaling to your inner child. Like I have had conversations where it's like the kid is
huge.
talking
it's
to
very
me.
Powerful
it's
to do that.
Fucking crazy.
Yeah. I had a therapist once tell me, go back and talk to yourself as a, I think she asked me what was my first memory. And then she had me go back to that child and tell that child that everything's going to work out and that you're going to be okay. And I was like, oh, I was crying during that.
I know. Yeah. It's hard to not. It really is. It's really emotional. And we all repress all this stuff, and we're all trying to like look good for each other. And
right now, those are all journal. I have boxes and boxes of journals.
Oh, how fucking embarrassing is it? I always do like journal. I'll always, because of my ADD, I'll be like joke book, and then I'll just spring into journal.
Oh, yeah.
And then you leave it at Caroline's, and you're so fucking embarrassed. You're like, oh no, someone just heard what I said. My innermost disgusting thoughts.
All right, so you don't have an answer for my first question.
What is it? Yeah, I want to write a book. I want to write a movie.
Bode well for this.
I do a lot of anything anyone offers me. I usually do.
Have you had
Coke.
Three-way sex?
Mm-hmm.
How many times?
Like twice. I had a boyfriend in college who I swore was gay. He's married with kids now. Maybe you're friends with him. He's from Seattle. But I always thought it was because he was gay, like he was one of like a kind of a guy in there.
Oh, so it was a devil's triangle,
right? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
And then I had angel's triangle. What do you call it when it's two girls?
Two girls, yeah.
What is that called?
I think that's just called a three-way.
That's called a three-way, the proper way. With a friend of mine when we were just gonna go hook up with, we just wanted to go like, bang some dudes, and then her guy ran out last minute, so.
Oh, so it was a one-night stand.
It was just like a thing with this guy. And I used to tell it on stage with it's a comic. I used to tell her name and she was like, can you stop telling my name?
Do I know her?
Maybe. I'll tell you after this. Yeah. But it just was so funny because I'm so open with everything that I never even imagined people would have like a secret that they didn't want to tell.
Yeah.
About the story. But
wait, and was the guy, did you know the...
No, we found him.
Here. Tell me who the female comic is, and then I'll tell you who the guy was that I texted Rogan about. Oh, nice.
It's a surprising one, right?
Yeah, that is surprising.
Yep.
And did you both know the guy before that?
No. Our whole thing was we had just moved to LA from New York, and we were both having the same problem with guys where we would go on like a couple of dates with guys, and we were just busy and kind of feeling really good about being in this new town and hustling and stuff. So we weren't really looking for a serious relationship, but guys kept kind of being like, look, we don't want to sleep with you. We know you want something serious. And we kept being like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
It kept happening. It's like, obviously they probably thought we had herpes or something, but I'm like, what? We just both were like flabbergasted. Like guys just weren't believing us. So we're like, let's just go get some dick tonight. We're going to go to fucking Santa Monica and we're just going to pick some hot dudes up, get some surfers or whatever. And we go down there, and the first club we went to, or the first bar we went to had, and by the way, I'm dead sober.
I wonder if men ever, because here's the problem, maybe this is my Catholic impression. To me, picking up a girl it always felt like I was tricking them.
Yeah.
I was always taught that women didn't really want to give up sex, didn't want to have sex, and that when you did with them, it was lightning in a bottle. It was a weird circumstance, a happenstance that this would come together and a girl would want to do it and you want... It never occurred to me that girls would go out like a man with a mission. Yeah. And you guys were on a mission that night.
We were on a fucking mission. And yeah, I mean, it wasn't always that way, but it was just like we kind of were fed up and we're like, fuck it, we're just going to go. It was like a taking back the night moment.
Nice.
So we go, and the first place we go to, we find some guys, they're hot, but they have like man buns. We're like, we can probably do better. And we couldn't. It was too late. We couldn't. The next bar we went to, we were like, oh no. But this one guy came up to me who was fine. There was nothing like exciting about him, but he wasn't like ugly or anything. But he came up to me and he had come to, I used to run a show at this restaurant I worked at in New York. And he was like, oh my God, I used to come to your show. And I was just like, that's all I needed was like a kernel of something, you know?
That. Yeah.
And I was like, okay. And then his friend was hitting on my friend. So then she grew up in this neighborhood. So we went back to her like teenage home, her room from high school. And
her parents were home?
Yeah. We like walked by her dad.
No.
Yes.
With two dudes.
Yeah. But I think that we're just grown women. Like, I don't know what they thought. Maybe we were smoking weed or something. Uh-huh. And so we went back there and like pulled a mattress off the bed, and me and my guy were like taking our shirts off, and her guy it's 4 a.m. He just shoots up and he goes, I have an emergency, I have to go. And we're like, how small is your dick that you're afraid of 3 people seeing it? Like, we didn't know what it was. Maybe he had a girlfriend or something. I don't know. The guy never gave up that much information. Right. But once he left, we were like, I guess we'll just have, and then it ended up not being like a very climactic, for me at least. Because the bit I used to do about it is, if you want to find out who is a better friend in a female friendship, have a threesome with the guy and see what you ask the other one. Like,
interesting.
Because I was like, I'll go down on you while you go down on her.
Yeah.
And then she was like, come all over her face. So I literally just got like I couldn't believe it. I was like, this could have been a 69 situation. I could have been a sock. Like, I didn't need to be here at all. It was just so funny. But then after that, I was just like, it was so funny that it was like, all I ever want is a good story anyway. You know, I don't care. Yeah. So I was like laughing. And then in the morning, I remember calling her. I'm like, do you remember? Because by the way, I'm the only sober one in this situation. Everyone else is drinking. And I'm just like, drinking cranberry juice. But
the sober girl with the bukkake.
Yeah, getting bukkaked. And so then... Obviously, I block that kid for life. I'm like, I'm never going to see you again. You're welcome. You got a fun night. It's your night with Marilyn or whatever. Yeah. And then blocked him on everything. And then like maybe a year later on the Waze app, he friend requested me on the Waze app. Like, I didn't even know you could friend request on it.
I didn't know that.
On the traffic app.
Really?
Yeah, out of nowhere. So he finds one place he's not blocked, which is funny. I'll give him that. But the joke I was always saying on stage is like, why would he... Like, why would I want to know where I am in traffic? So when I'm like at a light, he can come up and roll the window and jizz in my face all the time. I never want to see you again. Every time I think of him, I imagine just wiping like icing off my eyes, the glaze off my face.
Oh my God, that was so nice of her. I want you to come in her face.
I was like, dude, but it was so funny. It was a hilarious thing.
All right, next question.
Okay.
Have you ever been arrested?
I got handcuffed to a bench outside of Bloomingdale's by an undercover cop who was in like a Hawaiian shirt. Just looked like a regular dude.
Yeah.
Just handcuffed me and I started screaming. Like I thought I was like a victim of something, but he was an undercover cop arresting me for shoplifting. And I ended up they didn't press charges or anything, but.
What'd you steal?
Sunglasses and.
Did you just put them in your purse?
I think I had them on my head. My friend and I had gone, we'd gone through the whole mall stealing. It was fun.
And they just took stuff back and let you go?
They took the stuff back, took a Polaroid. I would pay $1 million to get that Polaroid right now. Oh, I wish I had that sad, fortunate, busted, so guilty. And I always wanted my parents. I think the reason I didn't get in trouble is I always really wanted my parents' approval so much that I never went that extra.
Yeah.
The extra, like, because all my friends, so many of my friends are like, dead, prison, all that shit. I always was like, I'll stop shoplifting now.
I was the same thing. I hung out with the craziest fucking kids that were driving to the Bronx to get crack or angel dust, and kids that were fucking running away and getting their own apartments at 16, and I was hanging out with them and I was doing crazy shit, but never as crazy as them.
Right.
I was always like the one just on the outside. I would be watching them. And I was simultaneously felt not as cool or good as them and also better than them at the same time.
Yeah, I had that same thing. Yeah, because it's like
I knew it was going to end better for me.
You're like, listen, I'm going to be using needles, but it's going to be to deflate a tennis ball, okay? Guys.
Exactly.
Enjoy your life.
Who is your celebrity crush? Is that corny?
It used to be Liev Schreiber, and I just don't have any celebrity crush. You meet them and you fucking,
That's
they're
a stupid
just.
question. I'm taking that one out. I'm not asking that question.
Whitney actually is my celebrity crush.
Yeah, I should say. Okay, last question. Have you skinny dipped?
Yeah, we used to. When was the last time I skinny dipped? That's jizz. We would used to like pool hop into the pool when it was closed.
Like
but that
the
was
public
with clothes
pool?
on it, but that was with clothes on. I'm trying to think of when I skinny dipped. I don't know. Maybe I didn't. Everything keeps popping up. It's like family vacation. I'm like, I don't think I was naked in that. I hope not. I've been naked in the ocean. When I was like 17, I graduated from high school when I was 16.
Because you were smart or because
I went to a bad kid's school.
Oh,
the
right.
teacher molested me and I took him to court and they were like, you're congratulations, you graduated. Oh my God, you can leave now. Go, quick. Get out. You don't even need to mention you went here. Go.
Well, they fast-tracked you.
They're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
You are good. Go. We're going to use that court case as extra credit. You're out of here. It counts as 2 years.
Angela, you did 17 AP classes, honors classes, and you were in the Model UN Club. You're graduating at 16. And Annie?
You took a load in the back of your leg and you are out of here. If I knew it would make me funny, I would have been like... Get it on me. Get more on me.
Was there a cash settlement in addition?
No cash settlement. There was nothing. It was my parents. I as a grown up now, I realize that it's just very uncomfortable when people come to you with these things. They're like, oh, I wish I didn't know this.
Right. You mean your parents knowing it?
My parents, they just wanted it. Like everyone just wanted it to be done fast. So
did the guy go to jail?
3 years probation.
That's it?
Mm-hmm. And then he couldn't teach. And I found a lot of girls who did stuff too. But the school's crazy too. Like one of the disciplinarian it was a wild ride, but so
this was a teacher at a school for troubled kids.
Yeah. And
so
a lot
vulnerable
of
kids.
Yeah. And then a lot of the kids.
Fuck that guy.
I know. I really kind of want to do. I'm so torn. Okay. Because it was very traumatic and it's something that I've really worked on and worked through. I think, every once in a while I get like caught up in like the PTSD of it, but I do think I have a handle on it now. So part of me really wants to do like take them down the school because it's still running. There's so many. And I just found out about this other, like I want Chris, like I want to be like, yo, Chris Hansen, let's take these people down.
Right.
Because they, there was one disciplinarian who was like kind of the teacher that was very strict and mean to us. And I was like, I actually respect him. I remember going, I respect that guy. He actually like cared enough about us to discipline us.
I hit you?
No, but he just was the only one that like ever gave us detention ever.
Okay.
You know, because the rest of, I mean, there was a hole in the wall in the basement in the glass blowing studio that we would climb into the wall and like eat acid and watch the basketball games through the grate. Like where nobody was like, where are the children?
Yeah.
They're gone. And it's just interesting.
Did you live there?
No.
No, it was a day school.
No, it was a day school. And there were only 17 kids in my graduating class, and there are very few that were not.
How many times did he molest you?
Just that one time.
Yeah. But you found out other girls and it happened too.
Well, I just was like, there's no way.
There's no way it happened once.
And then I found a girl that he was having an affair with, and she was like fine with it.
Yeah.
A girl who his wife was also like involved. So they would have us all come over. They were white people with dreads.
Involved?
That's the worst part. Oh my God, I forgot to tell you. There were white people with dreads.
Oh no.
So there were white people with dreads, and my parents are like liberal. So they're like, oh my God, go. Like they're artists. Like go with them. Right. Anyone that like people didn't trust, my parents were like, oh my God, we'll trust you. Do you want our daughter?
Right.
And it was out of like kindness. It wasn't, they definitely had no clue bad things were going to happen or anything. Just really, really blind to it. But so the teacher, so they would have us all come over and they would like buy us weed and alcohol, and his wife was like tutoring me, but she was really just writing my papers for me, and I would get wasted and stuff. So then we would like sleep. I mean, it was like crazy. We'd sleep over there. It was just nuts. So then eventually he got me, but then I just went around. I found like another girl who was getting like art lessons from him, but she didn't want to press charges because her mom was like the therapist to his wife. Like it was all always like a weird connected thing.
Right.
And then this other girl, she testified like he had pulled his dick out or something and jerked off in front of her. And it was just nothing really happened.
So he's not teaching at the school anymore.
He's not teaching at the school anymore. But when I told the story on Marin, people found out who he was. I didn't say his name because I was a little bit scared still.
Yeah.
And people wrote me and they're like, he was just in like, I think he'd moved to New Hampshire and he was about to start doing a program with at-risk kids again.
No.
And I kind of like his art. Is that sick?
No, JonBenet Ramsey was a fucking great painter.
But she molested you.
Oh, no, not JonBenet Ramsey, no.
I'm like, oh my God, what does she paint it with her blood? This little kid?
No. Who is the guy who used to do clown paintings?
Oh, yeah.
It was three names.
Gacy?
Yeah, John Wayne Gacy.
Yeah. JonBenet.
Poor JonBenet. Where is she?
I mean, God, she would have been a hottie. Do you think she would have turned out hot or ugly? She grown out of it? Did she peak?
I don't know that I remember what she looks like very well. Was she like a beauty pageant contestant?
I
probably
think she was
not.
Like 4 when she died.
Yeah, usually those little kids that go into beauty pageants turn out to be homely.
Well, I know, because their entire life that was pushed on them.
Yeah. They have a coldness about them.
Yeah. Oh wait, so the teacher that I thought was good and strict, they just busted him for kiddie porn, infant age to 7 years old. I know. There were 17 kids in my class, so it's like they each got one. I'm like, did you guys claim which one you were gonna get?
My jaw's open. You can't see this because we're not doing video, but Jesus fucking Christ.
I
so
know.
what is it about? It's almost like troubled children attract deviants, don't they?
Yeah,
because
we ask
they
for it.
look for people that are vulnerable.
Yeah, I think it's a less trustworthy voice too. You go like, what, this kid that got caught doing all these things, really?
Yeah, exactly.
Are you going to believe them? And also maybe they're more like sexual because they've already had shit go down or whatever.
Right.
I don't know.
Ugh.
But I always think about like, I want to do like a whole thing on it, but then I'm like, I don't want to do it at the expense of my own happiness.
Yeah.
And joy.
Right. No, that's true. That is a difficult thing. Like I know a teenage girl who lives in our neighborhood, and she was raped. And I know the parents, and there's a big debate about whether or not they want to go down that road, whether or not she wants to,
It's so bad.
You have to get on the stand and get fucking cross-examined
really
by
bad.
some ruthless lawyer.
The stuff around it was like very traumatizing.
Yeah.
Also, his lawyer was my softball coach when I was a kid. Like I couldn't. It just felt like I had no kind of grown-ups on my side. But my parents, like in retrospect, were on my side. They just weren't equipped. They just didn't know what to do.
3 years probation. And how old were you?
16.
Anybody that does that, there's got to be mandatory jail time.
Yeah.
And if it's somebody under 16, no, under 14 or 15, life.
Yeah.
Just life, because you're going to do it again.
Yeah.
And you're going to ruin somebody's life.
Yeah.
And they're going to ruin somebody's life.
It definitely was something I didn't realize I was like carrying with me for like every day. And then I just had that realization where I was like, oh my God, I'm like dragging this like white dreaded man with me everywhere. And I just like let it go. Like forgiveness for everyone involved. Peace. But it would be fun to fucking take that school down.
Yep.
It really would be fun because I got like some people will message me that go to the school and they'll be like, there's fucked up shit going on here still. I'm like,
damn. So that guy, the baby molester, that guy just got busted now?
Yeah, but he was at another school by then, but he was one of our teachers from that time.
Damn.
I got messages from women that went to it when it was in the 70s when it was a Montessori school.
Yeah.
And they were saying, they heard me on Marin and they were like, oh, we call it Miquon too, because it used to be called Miquon, the school. And because all the teachers were fucking the kids back then too. So it's almost like, and my teacher that did that to me had been a student there. So it's almost like it's just this culture in the school.
Yeah.
So maybe they're not doing it now and it's different, but
I think the school should just be out of business.
It just should be out of business.
Just start over.
And
it's like
funny,
the Catholic Church.
I know.
Why is an institution that has fostered and covered up thousands of acts of pedophilia, how are they still in business? If that happened, if there was one picture Nabisco, and there were 3 executives caught doing pedophilia, people would not fucking buy anything from Nabisco again. I can't even speak.
Well, they would. They just wouldn't buy it if, like, I feel like other social causes, there's something that's just so uncomfortable for people about like pedophilia that they just don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
Like my parents were. And I truly mean that I completely forgive them and love them and everything. And sometimes I don't even want to talk about it because I don't want to like bring light on these things anymore. But it's like, I went home a couple of years ago and I saw a letter from the school and I was like, what is this? And they were still donating money to the high school.
Really?
Like that's some denial shit, right? Like that's like, and I remember talking to my dad about it and he's like, well, I have friends who like their kids love the school. It's like, they help so many kids too. And I'm like, Dad, I mean, it doesn't anymore.
I hope that was I'm sure that was
like
a
the wall shook.
Shit.
But it's like when I look at it, it's like and the older I get, the more I really understand they just can't go there.
Yeah.
They just can't go there. And I think with the Catholic Church, it's like the same thing. It's like people are like, okay, so then if we have to blow that up, do we have to blow up like, oh wait, so now God's not real or all these, like how far do they have to go?
Right.
There's a lot of like stories that are hinging on them not getting busted for pedophilia, even though everyone sees it. I don't know. Maybe they're like, it was just that bad guy or whatever.
Well, listen, if you guys enjoyed the podcast and you want to see a little bit more, we're going to do a thing called Talk Your Way Out of It with Annie, where I give her a situation that is very difficult or uncomfortable, and she has to then on the speed of her mental agility talk her way out of it. That'll be on my Instagram and Twitter feed the day this comes out. If you want to see Annie live, then get on your horse. Flappers, July 15th, which is in Burbank. Tempe, Arizona at the Improv, August 6th through 8th. That should be nice and cool. I got
Wise Guys too, the 15th, July 15th or 16th, 17th.
Wise Guys, did you say?
Yeah, I don't know why that's not on there.
Wise Guys. All right, it's fine. You're also going to Wise Guys. Caroline's on Broadway in New York, August 12th through 14th. Andy, that's probably the biggest club you can work outside of a theater.
I'm really excited too because I performed there. Like I did the March Madness competition there when I first started comedy, where I waited in line and Then I went in and did like 1 minute for Lewis and got moved on. And then it was like a bracket competition and got kind of far. And then from that, Jim Norton wanted a female opener. And so they showed him my tape. And then I got used to open for Jim all the time from there.
Nice.
So Caroline's was like one of my first spots. So I'm excited.
It's a very special place. It's a very cool club. Times Square. And then Bakersfield, things take a turn for the worse. Bakersfield on August 21st at the Temblor Brewing Company. And then Hartford, Connecticut, the Funny Bone on August 27th through the 29th. So you got a fun little summer lined up for yourself.
I'm excited.
And I am so happy you came on the podcast.
I know, I'm happy too.
And I'm happy we're neighbors and we're going to hang out.
I know,
I'm going to have you over for dinner.
Fun.
Pete's still in town, but I'll have you over next week when he leaves.
Well, I want to know some answers.
Yeah, I'm gonna have some answers by then. I think I have the answer. I don't think he's gay.
That's another thing maybe brought up to Judd Apatow.
Maybe
these are all like funny storylines.
Yeah.
Of you trying to get your friend to come out to you, and then it turns out at the end your mom's just a fucking blabbermouth and got it wrong.
She gets so many things wrong. I can do a whole episode on how many things she has lied about. Then they always have a kernel of truth.
Right.
But then she steps it out in 8 different drinks. You can tell she was told while she was drinking Ryan Gingers. That's her drink. And things just spun out from there. But
my brother says, he's like, don't you hate when you're like at a party and you're like, no, dogs and cats can mate. And people are like, no, they can't. They're like, yes, they can. And they're like, what are you talking about? Like, no, my mom told me.
Yeah.
You're always like, fuck, everything she told me was misinformation.
Yeah, right. No, I'm Italian. All right, Annie. See you at the store.
Hell yeah.
God bless America.
Sorry, I told all my same stories, guys, if you heard the molester story.